Here at OCC Stadium for tonight's game between the Onondaga Flames and the Syracuse Saltcats. Hello everybody, welcome to OCC Stadium. Alongside Morgan Chapman, I'm Brandon Ross. A great matchup ahead tonight between these two teams.
Yes, we should definitely have a great matchup between these two teams. I'm excited to see Riley Glenn with his second appearance on the mound of this season. As his first appearance against the Cortland Crush, he went 2.2 innings, gave up 4 hits and 4 runs, only struck out 2 and surrendered 3 walks. So not the best start for Riley Glenn. Let's see if he can have a better night here tonight.
All right, and starting out, let's give you the starting lineup for the Syracuse Saltcats. Batting first, leading off, is Alex Holland. Second is Alex Ferlenda. He'll play second base. Third, Drew Patterson in right field. Batting cleanup is Patrick Miner at first base. Batting fifth, Christian Nakari playing third. Behind the plate, batting sixth is Isaac Porter. Batting seventh at DH, Sean Lawler. Batting eighth and playing left is Chris Coates. And batting ninth, playing shortstop, is Michael Ray. We're set, and let's do it. And the first pitch of the ball game is a ball that misses inside, and the count's early 1-0. As Morgan mentioned, not the best outing for Riley Glenn last time out, but certainly looking with a different approach tonight with a more gelled-out team, a better chance. The 1-0 pitch is driven back into center field. Drifting over to that one is Jack Chernow. He'll make the catch for out number 1.
And it's funny, Brandon, I was talking to Riley Glenn after that win, and he said he just was starting to lose grip on the fastball. That's really what gave it away, and then he gave up the home run to Zach Kelly from the Cortland Crush, and we saw him last night again. He looked like a terrific player in this league.
So a quick, easy out for Riley Glenn. 2 pitches and 1 out, and that brings up Alex Ferlenda. The first pitch shows bunt, pops it up into shallow down the left side, but that's going to go foul. A diving effort there from Trace Peterson, but that one drops into foul territory.
Love the effort by Peterson. Last time Alex Fernando, we saw him played the Onondaga Flames, he actually went 2 for 2, reached twice on a walk, came around to score once. That was the first game of the season for the Flames, and they got the victory over the Saltcats last time they faced each other.
Ferlenda back in the box now with an 0-1 count. Let's see if he shows bunt again here. Glenn, even with the bases empty, working from the stretch. The 0-1 cut on and missed. A fastball that he couldn't quite get the bat around on, and just like that, he's behind in the count 0-2.
And Ferlenda plays his college ball at St. Bonaventure. He's one of the Bonnies, but he's a local kid, Brandon. He's from Syracuse, New York.
Certainly is. Quite a few St. Bonaventure kids on that Saltcats roster, and quite a few local kids in this league. The 0-2. That pitch misses outside. Count now 1-2, rather.
I like the pitch from Riley Glenn right there, though. Try to get him to reach on something. A bit of a waste pitch as you have a couple more to play with.
And the payoff. Pitch misses way inside. Ferlenda had to duck to keep that one from hitting him in the head. And the count's now knotted up at 2-2. As Morgan was talking about, Glenn had trouble with his fastball last time, kept losing grip. Looks like he's having trouble keeping it under control here so far. Ferlenda back in the box now, the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball again, misses high and inside, and the count goes from 0-2 to a full count.
We'll see what he has here for the payoff, Brandon, but it looks like you're right about that. He's losing just a little bit of grip.
Glenn is set, the 3-2 pitch. That one misses inside, so Glenn, ahead in the count 0-2, ends up issuing 4 straight balls to allow the walk. And now with a runner on and 1 away in the inning, that brings up right fielder Drew Patterson.
Patterson hit a triple the first time these two teams met. Didn't score. He was 1 for 3 on the evening, came around on a walk but never scored.
Patterson, a very talented player out of Roane State Community College. As the runner goes, Peterson fires down to second. Can they get Ferlenda? And they do. A great showing of the arm by Trace Peterson behind the plate, and Ferlenda gets gunned down at second trying to steal.
And you know what that makes me think about, Brandon, is the conversation we had with Coach Cordero and saying how Trace Peterson and Zach Zura are having that battle for the catcher position. Clearly, Trace is trying to battle for his catcher position behind the plate.
Jake Zura out of Canisius College didn't get a lot of playing time this year. We're not seeing him yet tonight, but we could see him later, as Coach Cordero said. The pitch is chopped on the ground towards third, but foul, and the count's now knotted up at 1-1.
And we've seen Trace have really nice throws to second base this year so far, but not too many of them been completed for outs because the person isn't on the bag. But we saw there good communication between both players.
The 1-1. That pitch catches the edge of the strike zone. Looked like a breaking ball there from Riley Glenn, and now he's ahead of the count, 1-2. Patterson, the batter, like I said, out of Roane State Community College. In 41 games, he hit .336. Had a home run, also drove in 16 RBIs, had 2 triples and 10 doubles as the 1-2 pitch is cut on and missed. And an easy 1-2-3 inning for Riley Glenn. No runs, no hits, and no men left on base. At the end of a half an inning of play, it's a tie, 0-0 games between these two teams. Bring it back in the bottom of inning number 1. Still a 0-0 game as Riley Glenn retired the Syracuse Saltcats 1-2-3 in the top of the first. And before we begin, let's give you the Onondaga Flames starting lineup. Batting first in right field is Mike Netzel. Batting second in left is Adam Gordon. Batting third behind the plate is Trace Peterson. Batting fourth at third base, A.J. DiFilippo had that big home run last night. Batting fifth playing shortstop is Brian Hart. Batting sixth DHing is Casey Kretsch. Seventh at second, Reed Gibbs. Batting eighth at first base, Corbin Paxton. And batting ninth in center field is Jack Chernow. The first pitch to Mike Netzel is a called strike, count 0-1.
And Mike Netzel is a player that Coach Cordero is very high on. Last night he ended up going 2 for 5, had a single and a double, came around to score once.
The 0-1. Driven back behind home plate, but foul, and the count's now going to be 0-2 early. On the mound for the Syracuse Saltcats is Tommy Genuario. Genuario out of Rutgers University, only pitched 12 innings this past year. The 0-2 pitch. Cut on and missed. Mike Netzel goes down on 3 pitches and 1 away here in the bottom of inning number 1.
Not the best at-bat there from Netzel, especially with your leadoff. Do you like him being aggressive there, though, Brandon?
I like you being aggressive, of course, but you got to get base runners and you got to get ahead early on. With 1 away in the bottom of inning number 1, that brings up Adam Gordon.
And Adam Gordon's really been the consistent batter for this team as of late, and we've seen him make a lot of plays in the field, especially in center field, but he's in left tonight. See what he has in store for us here.
First pitch to Gordon, that catches the inside corner, and it counts 0-1.
Gordon did have an RBI single in last night's game against the Cortland Crush.
Genuario working from the windup, the 0-1. That pitch again catches the inside corner. Looks like the home plate umpire is going to be calling that inside pitch quite frequently a strike tonight, and the count's 0-2.
It's funny because on the opposite side with Riley Glenn, he wasn't calling it on the left side of the batter's box for Riley Glenn.
Gordon back in the box. The payoff from Genuario. Caught on and fouled by an old plate. No contact, and it's going to get away from the catcher, Porter, and count that as a strikeout, but still only one away, and Adam Gordon makes his way over to first base.
And the backstop can play a huge role. We saw it last night. Hurt the Onondaga Flames. Here it benefits them as it gets away from the catcher. That's Porter.
Now with one on, one away, that brings up Trace Peterson. Last time out against the Sauk Cats, he went 0 for 3, but still drove in a run and walked twice. Checks over at first, and Gordon's able to make it back safely.
Trace Peterson didn't have the best night last night. He ended up going 0 for 4 at the plate.
As we mentioned, Peterson in that catching competition with Zarat. We'll probably see Zarat later, but Peterson starting the game behind the plate. The pitch is going to get away from Porter behind the plate, but Gordon's not going to go, and now behind in the count early, 1-0.
And Brandon, I like the competition between Peterson and Zarat. They both seem to give their full effort when they're behind the plate. All they need to really work on is the concentration that Mike Cordero is talking about.
It's especially interesting considering we'd heard before the season that Peterson's head coach at Lake Erie College is likely looking to move him over to first base.
Right. And we saw him play first base last night a little bit, for the whole game, I should say.
The 1-0 catches the strike zone. And now Peterson has a 1-1 count.
But I think versatility is very useful as a baseball player. If Trace can play first base and catcher, might as well do it.
Gordon takes a hefty lead off first. Genuario working from the stretch. Checks over on Gordon back at first, but he's going to get back in with ease. Perfect skies out there tonight. Certainly not a single bad cloud in the sky. A beautiful day, just under 70 degrees as the 1-1 pitch misses the zone. And now Peterson's got a better count. It's 2-1. On deck is A.J. DiFilippo. DiFilippo hit the first home run of the season for the Flames last night and only his second at bat. The 2-1 as Gordon goes, but he chopped foul down the third base line. Count's going to even up at 2-2, and a golden stolen base opportunity is wasted for Adam Gordon.
And Brandon, Mike Cordero is very aggressive with sending these players. He doesn't care what the score is. He's going to send the guys that have speed. Adam Gordon is one of those guys.
Adam Gordon, certainly a speedy player. Didn't play a lot. Actually played quite a bit back at Cal State LA, but still managed 4 stolen base attempts on the year. Was successful 3 of those times. Genuario, the payoff. Chopped on the ground between second and first, and is that going to get through? Diving stop, but he can't collect it, and that's going to be an infield single for Trace Peterson.
Really nice job of Adam Gordon to get in the way of the second baseman there so he didn't have a good read on it, and then let Peterson get to first base safely.
Looked like on that one, it was a little bit miscommunication between Patrick Miner over at first and Alex Ferlenda at second base. I think Miner went for it first, and then Ferlenda had to play cleanup when Miner didn't think it was his ball to get. Ferlenda was able to stop it from getting to the outfield, but not in time, as Peterson was able to make it in with an infield single. The first hit of the night for either of these clubs, and A.J. DiFilippo, the power hitter, up now for the Onondaga Flames.
And this power hitter really changes the lineup for the Flames. That's what Coach Mike Cordero said, and I'm expecting big things from him this season.
Obviously, a big power bat in the middle of the lineup. Also kind of messes with the team chemistry a little bit, but Cordero expects that to ease up over the next game or two. Genuario checks back at second as Gordon's getting a little gutsy with his lead, but he makes it back safely after the throw over.
And this is the one situation we've seen the Flames not be able to do so well in is scoring runs. They can get base runners, they just can't really drive them home.
Runners on first and second, 1 out here in the bottom of inning number 1. Genuario looking back to Gordon back at second. The first pitch is driven between second and short, and that'll get through for a base hit. Gordon rounds third, coming in to score. The throw in center from Holland is not in time, cut off by the pitcher Genuario, and the Flames are up early with a 1-0 lead.
Really nice piece of hitting there by A.J. DiFilippo, and it's just another, his batting clutch is up for this team. Really nice job.
A.J. DiFilippo making himself indispensable early on this season, being a big bat for the Flames early in this contest as well as last night. And with 1 away, 1 run on the board, and still 2 men on base, Brian Hart, the shortstop, comes up to bat. Brian Hart had a decent outing last time against the Saltcats as the first pitch is a called strike. Brian Hart only went 1 for 4, but he also drove in a run and was able to walk twice.
But how about last night when he went 3 for 4, came around to score on the triple?
Absolutely, that was huge. DiFilippo leading off first. Peterson leading off of second. Genuario looking for a possible throwback. Decides to pitch. The 0-1 catches the edge of the strike zone. Home plate umpire is always calling that right side of the plate tonight, and the count's now 0-2. Brian Hart, one of the few players to see the starting lineup very frequently so far this season. He's been in the starting lineup almost every game at either short or second.
And he deserves to be there with his athleticism in the field.
Couple of checks over as Brian Hart calls time at home plate. Genuario seems to be rattled by the runners on base, giving a lot of looks over to second, particularly with Trace Peterson over there, even though he's really a power guy, not really known for his speed. Genuario from the stretch, the 0-2. That one misses inside, and the count's now 1-2.
But I think Peterson, he doesn't have a lot of speed, but he's doing his job distracting the pitcher. Perfect example of that was his next pitch was a ball.
One and two count on Brian Hart. The pitch is driven into right center field, and that'll find the gap for a base hit. One run's going to come around to score. A bobble in right field by Drew Patterson. That's going to be a double as DiFilippo's going to try and score, and he's going to miss the tag. He'll be safe at home. A 2-run double for Brian Hart, and that boosts up the Onondaga Flames lead to 3-0.
And how about the aggressiveness by head coach Mike Cordero to send DiFilippo home, Brandon?
Incredibly aggressive play, but it was well worth it in the end, as now an early 3-0 lead. Certainly not the outing Genuario was hoping for out here tonight. Already giving up 3 hits and 3 runs in this inning, as Casey Kretsch comes up to bat for the Onondaga Flames. Hart with his lead off second as the first pitch misses outside, and the count's 1-0.
And Casey Kretsch plays his college ball at Lemoyne College. We've seen him play a bunch of different roles for this team. We've seen him pitch. We've seen him at the plate in the DH role. I think he's still trying to find his role on this team.
Hart with a big lead off of second. Genuario giving a peek. The 1-0. That pitch misses high, and the count's now 2-0. Casey Kretsch could not get a lot of playing time at Lemoyne, but he's seeing a lot of action here, serving mainly as a DH and, as Morgan said, playing a little bit in the field here and there. Also pitched once earlier this season.
Really all we really seen him in the field is on the pitcher's mound, and he's done a really nice job.
Both short and second checking over at second base, but Hart's going to get back without a throw.
And Genuario just looks really rattled when there's any base runners on. Hart really isn't that far off the bag, but it's really just becoming a distraction for him.
2-0 count here on Casey Kretsch, bottom of inning number 1. The 2-0 pitch finds the strike zone. Genuario finally able to get a pitch over the plate, and the count's now 2-1. Genuario 2 strikeouts at the inning, but the second strikeout got away from the catcher Isaac Porter, and Gordon went to first base, so there's no out on that play. The pitch catches the outside corner of the plate. Counts now even at 2-2. Genuario looks to be getting back into this at-bat after falling behind early on. Hart, like Gordon before him, taking a very big lead off second base, trying to coax a play here, possibly a hit and run even with a 2-2 count. Genuario looking back. Ferlendo waits over to cover, but the 2-2 pitch is going to be driven back up the middle for the base hit. Coming around to score is Hart, and that gets past Holland in center field. Mark that as a single and a possible 2-base error as Kretsch is going to go for third, and he'll slide in there safely. That'll be an RBI single and a 2-base error on that play. Kretsch drives in another run for the Flames, and now they have a runner on third base with 1 out, and a 4-0 lead.
And Reed Gibbs is coming up to the plate next for the Onondaga Flames. And Reed Gibbs, we saw him unload the bases when we played down in Cortland. Let's see if he can at least get Brian Hart home. Or Casey Kretsch home, I should say.
Reed Gibbs coming up to bat for the Onondaga Flames now with one away. Looks like there's going to be a short conference at first. Looks like Casey Kretsch might have hurt himself on that slide there.
But how about this? This is a completely different Onondaga Flames team here tonight, Brandon. We're seeing them very awake, and the Saltcats look like they're still on the bus.
Well, we can't get ahead of ourselves here, Morgan. We know the big thing with the Flames, they've been able to start strong, but they haven't been able to finish so far this season.
They really haven't. Typically in the first 3 innings, they're able to put up a couple of runs, but then when it gets towards the middle of the game or even the end, they're just unable to get base runners and drive them home.
Again, Reed Gibbs up to bat for the Onondaga Flames. Occidental College product. Doing okay so far this season. He's playing half the team's games, hitting .286 so far. First pitch is going to go right down the heart of the plate, and the count's 0-1. Kretsch being conservative with his lead off of third base. And the 0-1 pitch is going to show bunt, but it's going to go foul behind home plate. An attempt at the suicide squeeze there by Reed Gibbs, but he fouls that one off, and now he's behind the count 0-2.
And Casey Kretsch is grabbing the bottom of his left leg. It looks like a hamstring pull, and those things, they last a long time if you pull a hamstring. It doesn't just go away in a week.
Especially in the game of baseball where you're running and working every single day. You're missing a lot of action when you play so many games back-to-back. The 0-2 is swung on and driven down the right field line, but well foul towards the trees.
But the injury must not be that bad, Brandon, because he would have came in with a pinch runner or something. So let's see if Casey Kretsch can walk it off and perhaps keep playing in this game.
0-2 count here to Reed Gibbs. Bottom of the inning number 1. One away. Flames already out to a massive 4-0 lead. And the payoff. That misses high. Reed Gibbs watches the 0-2 pitch sail by, and the count's 1-2. Genuario hasn't had a lot of trouble with his control so far. He's finding the plate, but so far they're just easy pitches to hit. The 1-2 to Gibbs is chopped off the ground and off of Gibbs in the batter's box, so that's a foul ball. Count's going to stay at 1-2. Those aren't very easy hits either. When you take one off the leg or off the shin, those are ones you're going to want to walk off, and they hurt a lot more than they look.
Especially if you're taking one off the ribs.
Genuario deals the 1-2. Chopped on the ground towards third. Sending it to first is Nakari, and that'll be an out number 2, a long-awaited out number 2 for Tommy Genuario on the mound. So a 5-3 put out there, and Corbin Paxton up to bat now for the Onondaga Flames. Paxton didn't see the field last time they played the Saltcats. As the first pitch misses outside for ball 1. Paxton's had 7 at-bats in 3 games so far this season, but still hasn't managed to hit, which is surprising considering he's considered one of the big offensive bats on this team, having hit .300 back at Lake Erie College this season.
And Corbin Paxton had the night off last night as well.
The 1-0 pitch finds the outside corner of the plate, and now the count's even at 1-1. Casey Kretsch on third base, 2 away in the bottom of inning number 1. A 4-0 Flames lead. As Genuario from the stretch, the 1-1. That pitch is going to miss high, and the count's now 2-1.
It's funny, this home plate umpire likes the inside corner, but he's not really calling the outside corner.
Left side of the plate's going to be a little more conservative with his calling, but he's very aggressively calling strikes on the right side. As that pitch is driven between first and second for a base hit, that'll be a single for Paxton, his first hit of the year, and it'll drive in another run for the Flames. They go out to a 5-0 lead here. lead gets even bigger for the Flames this inning. And now they'll have batted around here as the number 9 hitter comes up and Jack Cherno.
And we saw Cherno play second base last night. His first game of the season with the Flames ended up going 2 for 4 on the evening. Not that bad of a debut.
As that ball will be thrown over to first to check on Paxton, but he'll get back safely.
And it's funny, though, Brandon, we see him playing second base last night. Tonight he's in center field, moving Adam Gordon to left field, and Adam Gordon's done a really nice job in center.
First pitch is going to miss inside. One of the first balls we've seen called on that side of the plate so far, and he's going to get behind the count 1-0. This is only Cherno's second game in an Onondaga Flames uniform. Columbia was playing in the College World Series before getting eliminated in the regionals. And he and his teammate A.J. DiFilippo arrived last night. Genuario will check again at first. Paxton again able to slide back safely. Genuario certainly not looking comfortable out there on the mound. Has checked over on the runners a lot so far this inning and has thrown a lot of checks in order to keep the runners close. The 1-0 to Cherno is chopped on the ground towards short. Going for it is Michael Ray. He fires to first and finally retires the side. A long inning in the field for the Syracuse Saltcats. 5 runs, 5 hits. 1 runner left on base at the end of 1 inning of play. The Flames out to an early 5-0 lead here on Team Line. Back at the top of inning number 2, Flames got out to a massive 5-0 lead after the bottom of the first inning. And coming up to bat now for the Syracuse Saltcats is first baseman Patrick Miner. First pitch to Miner finds the strike zone, count 0-1. Riley Glenn had a dominant first inning. Only 3 batters and retired them very quickly as the 0-1 pitch finds the strike zone again. 2 pitches, 2 strikes in this inning, and the count's 0-2.
And would you say he's looked stronger than he did down in Cortland with his first start?
Oh, absolutely. He's finding the strike zone consistently, and he's getting that fastball under control now, as we see. The 0-2. That pitch is going to miss. Looks like it was going to be low, as that's a pitch that the home plate umpire has been calling a strike most of this evening. Riley Glenn gets the sign, working from the stretch. The 1-2. Check swing. Check over to first. He did not go. And that'll be a called ball. The count will be 2-2.
And the first time these two teams met, Patrick Miner went 0 for 3 on the night.
The 2-2. Cut on and missed. Second strikeout and 2 batters for Riley Glenn. And one away here in the top of inning number 2 as that brings up Christian Nakari. Nakari went 1 for 2 the first game between these two opponents. Also walked once. And the pitch misses outside, counts 1-0. Riley Glenn's getting these outs, but his fastball command is still a little bit lackluster, as was evidenced in that last outing against Cortland. The 1-0. That pitch misses high and outside, and the count's going to be 2-0.
Nakari plays his college ball at Nichols College, where he batted .280 this year, went 40 for 143.
Glenn gets his signs, the 2-0 pitch. That pitch finds the inside corner. He'll get a strike there, and the count's 2-1. The 2-1 from Glenn. That one misses the strike zone. Not sure if that was low or outside, but either way, it's 3-1. Christian Nakari up with 1 out in the inning, a 3-1 count. Isaac Porter, the catcher, waits on deck. The 3-1 pitch misses ball 4. And so the Saltcats will have another base runner this inning as that brings up Isaac Porter.
The second walk surrendered by Riley Glenn in this ball game, Brandon.
But in that first inning, after Alex Ferlenda got walked, he got gunned down trying to steal second. Isaac Porter up to bat now for the Syracuse Saltcats. Porter out of St. Bonaventure University. As that pitch misses for a ball, counts 1-0. Looked like Nakari was thinking about going there, but it didn't go far enough away from Peterson behind home plate for him to consider it. Nakari leading off first. Glenn working from the stretch. The 1-0 is popped into shallow right field. Second, first, and right field giving chase on it, but Netzel will be able to make the catch for out number 2. So 3 batters, but a quick 2 outs here for the Onondaga Flames as that brings up the designated hitter, Sean Lawler. Lawler, a Florida native out of Flagler College. Certainly a power bat you want to watch out for. Hit 7 home runs and drove in 34 this past season at Flagler.
And he went 2 for 3 the last time these two teams met.
Time is called here as Lawler takes his time getting into the box. First pitch to Lawler is going to catch the edge of the strike zone. Counts 0-1. Glenn peeks over to first base, make sure Nakari stays close. And the 0-1 pitch is cut on and missed. Looked like a breaking ball that caught Lawler out in front, and now he's behind in the count 0-2. 0-2 count, 2 out in the top of inning number 2. 2's all around here. As Glenn is set, the 0-2. That pitch missing way outside. Gets away from Peterson. He collects it, and a diving attempt by Nakari to get back to first after he was considering going 2, but it looks like he'll get back in there safely. Some fans seemingly unhappy with that call. They may have thought Nakari had been tagged out before touching first base, but instead it's a 1-2 count here to Sean Lawler. The payoff is chopped on the ground towards first, but foul. Count stays at 1-2. Lawler certainly taking an aggressive approach here. He wants a pitch he can hit. Glenn checks on Nakari back at first, but he's able to get back in there safely. Lawler playing very close in the box. Glenn checks over to first again, and it gets over the head of Corbin Paxton. Nakari's going to get to second, and he's going to go for third. A fire from first base, but that's not going to be there in time. And on the error by Riley Glenn, Nakari's going to make it over to third.
And it's just not the situation you want for Riley Glenn. And we talked about this before, Brandon, losing focus on the thing that's important, which is the batter in the box, trying to check him at first to make a play, and it ends up biting him in the butt a little bit.
Mark that an E1, as now there's a runner in scoring position with 2 out here. A threat we could not have foreseen just a pitch ago. The 1-2. That one misses high and outside. Counts now knotted up at 2. It's been a long at-bat for Sean Lawler, waiting for his pitch. And Riley Glenn checking over at first many times for Nakaria, and the last one going way over Peterson's head. The 2-2 is driven into shallow left field. That'll be a base hit, and that'll be the first run of the night for the Syracuse Saltcats.
Let's see how this affects Riley Glenn mentally, Brandon, because we saw down in Cortland he gave up a couple of runs and he gave up the home run and he was absolutely lost out of the game. Let's see where his head's at now.
That's the first hit of the night for the Syracuse Saltcats as pitching coach Robert Anders goes out to talk with Riley Glenn.
And what do you think of his decision to throw over at first that many times? Was he going to get him? Or?
I don't know if he was trying to get him as much to discourage him from stealing, but with 2 away, I'm not sure that's really the play.
Right.
It's going to be a full mount conference with the rest of the infield. Chris Coates waiting to bat after this conference dispenses. Coates went 0 for 2 the first time playing against the Onondaga Flames. Everyone back to their positions, and Coates will actually step into the batter's box to start the at-bat. Coates, a local player out of Syracuse, New York, played at St. Bonaventure University, did not play this past season. As the first pitch is a called strike, count 0-1. Leading off first is Sean Lawler. 0-1 count, 2 away, top of inning number 2, Flames with a 5-1 lead. And the pitch misses way outside. And the count's going to be even at 1. Riley Glenn seemed to be dominating the first few batters, but now he's got himself in a pickle, having an earned run to his name. The 0-1 to Coates. That one misses outside, a rare called ball in the outside corner there. And the count's now going to be 2-1.
Yeah, seems like the umpire really likes that area of the strike zone, but doesn't call that one a strike.
Lawler taking a short lead off of first base. That pitch is going to miss outside, potentially low. We can't tell from up here. And the count's going to be 3-1. Glenn behind in the count again here, needs to throw a strike. The 3-1 pitch is going to be driven into shallow right field. Running back is Chernow. He'll be called off by Netzel, and he'll make the catch for the final out of the inning. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 man left on base at the end of 1.5 innings of play. The Flames have a 5-1 lead here on Team Line. Bring it back at the bottom of inning number 2. Flames give up a run in the last inning, so now they have a 5-1 lead. But they made their way through the entire lineup in the first inning, and Mike Netzel will start it off again. Netzel struck out his first time around. And the first pitch from Januario is cut on and missed down the middle. And the count's going to be 0-1.
And Brandon, now it's up to the Flames to hold on to this lead. We've seen them lose it a couple of times this season. Let's see if they can keep the offense hot.
The 0-1 pitch, that one misses low, was over the plate, but close to the dirt, and the count's going to be even at 1-1. The 1-1, that one misses inside and also low, and the count's now 2-1. Many of these Flames hitters working ahead in the count so far, taking it to their advantage, getting pitches to hit. The 2-1 is going to be popped behind home plate and well foul, and there are now 2 strikes. Netzel back in the box, a few inches from the inside line, and that one's going to miss outside. Counts now full at 3-2. Januario sets quickly, the 3-2 pitch. Chop behind the plate, foul. And the count's going to stay even at 3-2.
And Netzel's listed as a pitcher on our roster, but we've really seen him play the field more than he's pitched, and he's done a really nice job at the plate. The 3-2 to Netzel is driven on the ground towards first base, fielded by Minor. He'll step on the bag for out number 1. Mark that a 3 unassisted. Netzel now 0 for 2 on the night, and that brings up Adam Gordon. Gordon struck out his first time up, but strike 3 got past the catcher Isaac Porter, and Gordon was able to make it over to first. Yes, he was. It was an unusual situation, Brandon.
Certainly not something you see every day on a drop third strike.
It's just the backstop here at OCC. It's so far back that if it gets away from the catcher, it can really be some trouble.
We talked about early in the season how massive the foul territory here is at OCC Stadium as the first pitch misses well outside. Looked like a breaking ball got well out of the grip of Januario on the mound. And the count's out 1-0, rather. The 1-0 to Gordon. Chopped at home plate. It looks like he broke the bat. He's going to get a new bat from the dugout as the count's now going to be even at 1-1.
And the one thing I've liked out of Adam Gordon this season, Brandon, is his play in the field. He really gives his full effort no matter what position he is. Center, now he's in left tonight, but he really sacrifices his body. He'll dive for the ball, and he's really been making a lot of plays for this Flames team.
Truly the defensive star for the Flames. He's made a lot of diving catches, sacrificing his body frequently for this team. And Gordon emerges from the dugout with a new bat. He'll cross home plate and step back into the lefty batter's box with the count at 1-1 in the bottom of inning number 2. 1 away, Flames with a 5-1 lead. The umpire calls for play to resume, and Januario deals the 1-1. That one again misses outside. Januario having some trouble with his control early on, and that one outside makes the count 2-1.
I'm interested to see what his pitch count is. I'm going to check with Eric Boone after this inning to see how many pitches he's thrown.
The 2-1. That one misses low, and the count's now going to be 3-1. The Flames certainly making Januario act like a workhorse out there on the mound. Whatever his pitch count is certainly getting run up quite high early in this one. And 3-1 is going to miss well inside, almost clipped Adam Gordon there on the foot, but he'll walk over to first base.
It's only the
0 for 1 after the walk, but still reached base both times.
Only and that brings up walk surrendered by Januario.
And that will bring up Trace Peterson. Peterson singled his last time up. Would eventually come around to score on the DiFilippo. The Brian Hart double is when he would come around to score. Going early is Gordon. There won't even be a throw. An incredible read there at first base by Adam Gordon, knowing exactly when Januario was going to throw, and he gets in there without a throw from Isaac Porter.
And he's 2 for 2 on stolen bases this evening.
That shows Januario not varying up the length between pitches enough. His looks are all the same as that pitch is going to catch the inside corner for strike one.
Do you think he's losing a little bit of grip on his fastball, Brandon?
I think he's losing a little bit of grip on everything. A lot of pitches seem to be getting out of his grasp early on. Gordon now leading off second base with one away. And Peterson gets ready. And that pitch is going to be drilled between first and second, and that'll get through for a base hit. Gordon's going to come around to score without a throw. Patterson will throw into second as Trace Peterson gets a run batted in on an RBI single. Flames now lead 6-1.
And Brandon, Eric Moon just texted me and told me that was his 45th pitch thrown already in this game, and we're only in the bottom of the second inning.
Pitch count getting run up very early here for Tommy Januario on the mound. And A.J. DiFilippo coming up to bat. Singled his last time up. That time he drove in a run. Januario checks over on Peterson back at first, but he's able to get back with ease. Januario waiting. The first pitch to DiFilippo catches the strike zone, and that'll be an early 0-1 count rather. Great teamwork there by the Onondaga Flames with Trace Peterson at the plate. Gordon was taking a massive lead off second, dragging the second baseman over towards second and poked the ball right through the four-hole as that pitch gets away from Porter behind the plate. That'll be the ball. The count's now going to be 1-1. Peterson taking a nice lead off of first base. And the pitch is going to be chopped between first and second. It's going to be fielded on the slide by Ferlenda, and they're going to gun DiFilippo out at first. A fantastic defensive play by Ferlenda, and there are now two away. Excuse me, there's now... Actually, yes, I was right the first time. There are now two away. So with two away on the stellar defensive play, that brings up Brian Hart. Brian Hart last time up, a bases clearing double driving in 2 runs. That pitch is going to catch the outside corner. Count's going to be 0-1. Trace Peterson not shy with his lead off of second base. With two away here in the bottom of inning number 2 with a 6-1 lead. The 0-1's cut on and missed. Hart got out in front of that one. And now he's behind in the count 0-2. Ferlenda and Ray aggressively checking the runners on second base so far for these first 2 innings. And it cost them just a few batters ago as that cost a run. The 0-2. That one misses way inside. Hart has to dodge that one to make sure it doesn't clip him on the shoulder. And now the count's 1-2. One, two count here on Brian Hart. Januario taking a lot of time to get the pitch off, and Hart will call time there at home plate. That pitch is going to miss outside, and the count's going to be 2-2. Januario's already given up 1 run this inning. Certainly doesn't want to risk giving up another with a runner in scoring position and 2 away. Pearson taking a lead off of second. Ray going behind to check. The 2-2 pitch misses high and inside. And Januario was ahead in the count 0-2, but now he's thrown 3 straight balls to load up the count. Tommy Januario working away into even tougher situations in these first 2 innings. He's making it a lot harder on himself than it needs to be. Full count here on Hart, the pitch. Cut on and missed. That pitch finds the dirt, but he swings at it anyway, and he'll be tagged out for out number 3.
That's Januario's 3rd strikeout on the evening.
1 run, 1 hit, 1 man left on base in scoring position. At the end of 2 innings of play, the Flames lead the Saltcats 6-1. Bring back in the top of inning number 3. Flames scored another in the bottom of the 2nd, and now they're out to a 6-1 lead as Michael Ray, batting 9th, will finally get an at-bat. Looked like they had to close a field out there in right center that just flung open. And now everyone's in defensive alignment, and we're ready to resume play. Ray will finally step into the box, only a few inches from the inside part. Glenn's still out there for the 3rd inning as the first pitch misses way inside, as Michael Ray has to watch his head, and the count's 1-0.
And Riley Glenn isn't really a pitcher that can go the full game. He's really consistent for about 3 innings, so I'm expecting this to be either his second last inning on the mound or his last inning on the mound.
Michael Ray drives that one right towards Brian Hart, and he'll make the catch for out number 1. 1 away here in the top of inning number 3, and that brings up Alex Holland. Last time up, he flew out to center field. Looks like time will be called. As Holland gets a little stretch out there near home plate. Glenn already set on the mound. And Holland finally steps into the batter's box, making everyone wait quite a bit. And the first pitch shows bunt, but that's going to miss high for ball 1. A lot of these teams at the NYCBL seem not shy at all on playing small ball.
No, not at all. We've seen it work in our favor before, and we saw it work in the Cortland Crush's favor as well.
The 1-0 pitch will find the strike zone. The count's going to be evened up at 1. The 1-1 pitch to Holland. Pitch misses high and inside. Count's going to be 2-1 now. Adam Holland's ready, the 2-1. That pitch catches the outside corner. Home plate umpire again showing his willingness to call that outside pitch a strike. And the count's now even back up at 2-2. Riley Glenn gets the signs as Adam Holland counts time. Looks like Tommy Genuario might be done on the day for the Syracuse Saltcats, as number 37, Peter Nolet, is warming up in the bullpen. The 2-2 pitch is going to miss inside. Pearson felt like that was strike 3, but instead it's going to be a 3-2 count. Holland now taking a few more steps back in the batter's box. The 3-2 pitch is going to be popped in the air into shallow right side of the field. That'll be played in the air by Corbin Paxton for out number 2. With 2 away, that brings up Alex Ferlenda. Ferlenda walked his first time around, but ended up getting gunned down trying to steal second base. Glenn is set. The first pitch to Ferlenda is driven into center field. Playing it back is Jack Cherno, but he'll get under that one to make the catch for out number 3. Ferlenda obviously was hoping for more on that one, but he'll have to settle for a flyout. No runs, no hits, no one left on base at the end of 2.5 innings of play. The Flames still have a 6-1 here on Team Line. Back at the bottom of inning number 3, Flames have a 6-1 lead as we have a new pitcher on the mound for the Syracuse Saltcats in Peter Nolet. Nolet's out of Salve Regina University, did not play his freshman campaign, so he's getting the first action in a long time here for the Saltcats. As they finish warming up, it's going to be Casey Crutch leading off the inning for the Onondaga Flames, followed by Reed Gibbs and Corbin Paxton. So Genuario's not going to have a good line score coming out of this one. 6 earned runs in 2 innings of work. That's certainly not what he looked for coming into this one. Also allowing 6 hits in those 2 innings. Nolet's going to conference quickly with Isaac Porter. Now, the Flames have an early lead here, Morgan, but we know that Flames have had a lot of early leads, and they've just been blowing a lot of them.
I think what happens is, Brandon, they get a little bit too comfortable with the lead, and they lose their concentration, like Coach was talking about. When you lose your concentration, you stop focusing on your at-bat, and you don't take advantage of opportunities. I'd like them to pad this lead like they did against the Rochester Ridgemen.
Crutch first up in the inning. First pitch from Nolet is going to find the strike zone right down the middle. And the count's going to be 0-1 early. Nolet nursing a 6-run deficit here for the Saltcats. As the 0-1 pitch is going to miss high. Count's now going to even up at 1.
And we saw Casey Kretsch holding his hamstring on third base the last time he came around to score. Let's see if that affects him if he gets a hit here and runs down the first baseline.
Regardless, he thinks he's okay. He's staying in the game so far. The 1-1 pitch is going to catch the inside corner to his dismay. He'll take a quick step out of the batter's box. The count's now going to be 1-2. Step back in the batter's box. And the 1-2 pitch catches the outside corner, and he swings and pokes it into center field for a base hit. Second hit on the night for Casey Kretsch, and a base runner with nobody out here for the Flames.
And Brandon, his hamstring looks fine.
Certainly not affecting him too much. That'll bring up Reed Gibbs. Gibbs grounded out to third base his first time up.
And Cordero is giving Kretsch a sign, and same with Reed Gibbs. Let's see if the hit and run's on here.
Also possible, we saw that back in the first inning as well. First pitch shows bunt. It's going to get past Porter behind the backstop, and that's going to advance Kretsch up to second base. That's a pure mental error there by Isaac Porter, one that the Flames have been making a lot of lately, and Coach Cordero stressed the team has to improve on.
Yeah, they made 3 of them last night, and all 3 of them scored a run for the Cortland Crush.
Kretsch now leading off second base with nobody out. Bottom of the third inning, Flames with a 6-1 lead. Nola is set as Minor's playing in, and the pitch is going to miss the zone. The count's going to be 2-0. Two-no count. Minor at first base, still playing well in, anticipating the bunt from Reed Gibbs, with Casey Kretsch leading off second with nobody out. The pitch. That one finally catches the strike zone, and the count's now 2-1. Cordero's been showing a lot of signs over there at third base, manning the third base coaching position, but as always, there are a lot of decoy signs just to throw off the defense. Nolan is set. Looks back to second. The 2-1 pitch. Cut on and missed. Count's now going to be 2-2, and Minor will retreat back to regular position as that takes away the bunt opportunity for Gibbs. Gibbs standing very close to the inside line of the batter's box. Nolet working from the stretch. The 2-2. That one's going to miss in the dirt. It's going to get behind Porter, and Kretsch is going to advance to third base with ease.
And how about that, Brandon? That's the second time Casey Kretsch has advanced on the passed ball.
Another defensive mental mistake as the infield's going to shift in here for the Saltcats. Approach here has got to be don't let the run score no matter what. Already down 5 in the third inning of this one. Full count. He deals. That pitch is going to be way outside. Porter's able to keep that one from getting away from him, but Gibbs is going to trot on over to first. So now runners on first and third for Corbin Paxton. And Porter's going to check out there on Peter Nolet. Last time up, Paxton hit a RBI single. That was his first hit of the entire season.
I think it was a bit of the commentators, not the jinx this time. It actually ended up working in his favor because usually when we say stuff like that, they end up not getting a hit again. But we see it work in his favor as Brandon, since he hasn't had a hit this season, right after he says it, gets a base knock.
Well, maybe if we just want to keep up the record tonight, we may just want to say the Flames aren't playing very well. They're up 5 runs, but they're not playing well. Paxton stepping up to bat with runners on first and third and nobody out. Paxton, the lefty hitter, working against Nola, the righty. Gibbs takes a short lead off first, fake steal, and Paxton shows bunt but pulls back as the count's going to be 1-0. Cordero looking to play more small ball here possibly. Second straight batter who has thought about bunting here. And Nolik gets set, the 1-0 pitch. Again shows bunt and pulls back. Pitch misses outside. Count's going to be 2-0.
And Brandon, if he lays down a bunt here for the Saltcats, the idea has to be get the force out at home, right?
I don't know. Well, I mean, if you're the Saltcats, I'm sure that's the objective. I'm not sure that's Coach Cordero's objective,
right,
but I'm sure this is a suicide squeeze attempt again. I believe the third attempt in 2 days for the Onondaga Flames, as the 2-0 is going to go, and Reed Gibbs is going to go to second, fakes the throw, and Gibbs will get in there without a throw as Porter tried to coax Kretsch to come home, but instead it's going to be runners on second and third with nobody out.
And the reason why Porter faked the throw, there was just no one on the bag. No one on the bag for the Saltcats, a miscommunication.
Well, there are a lot of approaches you can take with runners on first and third, and one of the approaches defensively is to act like you're throwing to second to try to coax the guy on third to come closer to home and maybe catch him in a pickle. Time is called by Paxton as he tries to regain his footing here. Infield playing way in. Outfield playing in normal positioning. Corner outfielders playing far off from the lines. The 2-0. That one finally finds the strike zone for Nolet. A long away strike now makes the count 2-1. Waiting patiently on deck this at-bat has been Jack Cherno. He'll be up next for the Flames. And Nolik gets set, the 2-1. Is going to be chopped on the ground towards short. He's going to bobble it, and there's going to be a fire over to first, but it won't be in time. I'll likely get marked as an E6 on Michael Ray over there at short. And now the bases are loaded with nobody out.
And the mental errors are starting to pile up for this Saltcats team, Brandon.
Certainly not what you want here. Mistake after mistake after mistake, as now the bases are jacked with nobody out for Jack Cherno. Cherno, of course, grounded out to short to end the monstrous first inning.
He did go 2 for 4 last night against the Cortland Crush in his first game of the season. So this is the biggest position he's been in all season long for the Flames. Bases loaded, has a chance to get his first RBI of the season.
Time is called here as pitching coach goes out to check on Nolet. Obviously, plenty of offense from the Flames so far tonight. Less than 3 innings played. Already 6 hits and 6 runs. Actually, 7 hits,
yeah, 7 hits
and 6
Casey
runs.
Kretsch.
I forgot to account for Casey Kretsch's single to lead off the inning. So now Kretsch is going to be on third, Gibbs on second, and Corbin Paxton at first.
And you want to know what the best thing about that is, Brandon? There's
What?
no outs, and there could be even more hits just in this inning.
Absolutely, and after Cherno, you're back to the top of the lineup.
Right.
Nonetheless. Mount Conference heads, and Porter's going to make his way back behind home plate, and Jack Cherno's finally going to step in the batter's box. Cherno, lefty hitter, working from that side of the plate against the righty Nolet. Infield once again playing in as there's a force at any base. Set, the first pitch is going to be driven into shallow left center field. That's going to fall for a base hit. Looks like that'll only bring one around to score, but that's another run for the Flames. An RBI single there for Jack Cherno. There was a long time no one was sure whether Holland was going to be able to reach that one out in center field, but it dropped right in front of him and a run scored to make it a 7-1 ball game. And now for the Flames is Mike Netzel, his third at-bat in as many innings. 0 for 2 on the night, struck out his first time around and grounded out to first his second time. And the first pitch is going to be chopped on the ground toward short. Michael Ray is going to fire at home for the force out. Throw over to first is going to be high and pull Patrick Miner off the bag. And so mark that as a 6-2 putout. A fielder's choice there as there's now one away here in the bottom of inning number 3. Adam Gordon now up for the Onondaga Flames. Walked his last time up, ended up stealing second and coming around to score. Base is still jacked with one out. A 7-1 lead for the Flames here in the bottom of inning number 3. The first pitch is going to get past Porter, and that'll bring home another run, the third pass ball for the Syracuse Saltcats this inning, and the Flames now lead 8-1. A massive 7-run lead in just the third inning of play. This one's really getting out of hand early.
Yes, it is, and the mental errors are really starting to pile up, and I think Coach Mike Cordell hit the nail on the head when he mentioned it's just a concentration game when you're at the catcher's position, and we're not seeing much concentration from the catcher for the Saltcats right now.
And Gordon at the plate, also another threat when he's on the base path, so certainly a lot of havoc left to be had. That pitch is going to miss it outside. The count's now going to be 2-0. Nolet focusing on Gordon at the plate. First base is open, so there's no force out anywhere on the diamond. Gordon standing very inside in the batter's box. Matches with his aggressive style at the plate. And no, it looks like he's going to be on a short leash as there's someone else warming up in the Saltcats bullpen as well. The 2-0 to Gordon's going to miss outside. Count's now going to be 3-0. Looks like it's going to be Tyler Stefersky warming up in the bullpen for the Saltcats. Might see him this inning or possibly next. As Nolet came in to sub for Tommy Genuario and has been left with a tough situation here. Forced to labor as the 3-0 pitch is fouled behind home plate. Gordon being aggressive, having the green light on 3-0, and the count's now going to be 3-1. Cherno leading off second base. Cherno leading off of third base, and Netzel leading off of second. And the 3-1 pitch is going to be driven into shallow left field. That'll be a base hit. 1 run scores. That's going to bring a second run around to score. A 2-run single there for Adam Gordon. And now it's a 10-1 ball game in just the third inning of play. Jeez, you're Mike Martinez for the Syracuse Saltcats. The first thought coming to your head is, yikes.
Yikes for sure. It's a 10-1 ball game, Brandon. And the thing is, for the Onondaga Flames, is they have to be able to hold on to this lead. They cannot surrender any runs at this point because we've seen this season way too many leads slip away from this team.
Absolutely. It looks like Peter Nolet is done, and Tyler Stefersky is going to come in as his replacement. We'll take a break here on Team Line. Flames have a 10-1 lead in the third. Tyler Stefersky now takes the mound for the Syracuse Saltcats. Stefersky out of East Stroudsburg University. Pitching 8 games. Didn't have a great season, but making improvements is what the summer season is for. And Trace Peterson up to bat with 1 on and 1 away. Stefersky looks to first, and the first pitch finds the strike zone for strike 1. Peterson last time up hit a single. He also singled back in the first, 2 for 2 so far. Stefersky looks over to Gordon at first base. Conservative lead, but he'll check on him anyway.
And as I mentioned earlier, Adam Gordon is 2 for 2 on stolen base attempts tonight.
His speed is no surprise to anybody here. He's been a huge help on the base paths so far this season. As Stefersky gets set and deals the 0-1. Runner goes. Gordon sliding in as the throw goes way over the head of Michael Ray at short. But thankfully, Ferlenda's there to play cleanup behind him. Another stolen base for Adam Gordon. 3 for 3 stolen bases on the night. So now with 1 away, with a 10-1 lead, there's now a runner in scoring position for the Flames. Peterson in the middle of the box, working the count. The 0-1 is going to be looped on the ground towards short. Ray fires to first and finally gets out number 2. Gordon advances to third on that one, and with a runner on third and 2 away, that brings up A.J. DiFilippo. DiFilippo 1 for 2 on the night, grounded out to second his last time up, but also had a single back in inning number 1. Stefersky is set. First pitch misses, and the count's 1-0.
And DiFilippo's single was actually an RBI single to get the first run of the game on the board.
First, he has to deal with Gordon on third. It would not be an earned run if he came around to score. That run would be charged to Nolet, who's already exited the ball game. And it counts now 1-1. DiFilippo crowding the plate here, looking for his pitch. Obviously hit that massive home run last night. The 1-1 misses way outside. Porter able to get in front of that one. Able to play it soft off of his chest to keep it from bouncing the way. And now Gordon stays at third base with the count 2-1. Stefersky peeks back over at third base. Takes a deep breath. The 2-1. Misses way inside. Almost clips DiFilippo on the wrist. Instead, it's going to be a ball inside. Count's now going to be 3-1 on DiFilippo. Stefersky falling into the same trap as his predecessors. Getting behind in counts and being forced to throw pitches that are easy to hit. The 3-1 is going to catch the outside corner of the strike zone. And the count is going to be full at 3-2. Full count. Gordon leads off third base. And the 3-2 pitch is going to be chopped on the ground. Foul. No, it's going to be a called strike 3. Dropped. And he's going to be safe at first base. Gordon comes around to score the second drop third strike of the afternoon. And on that one, Gordon's able to come around to score. It's now 11-1 Flames as this one is even getting further out of reach for the Saltcats. So with 3 outs recorded and 2 outs actually in the inning, that brings up Brian Hart. First pitch is 0-1. Now going to be the second inning of the ball game where all 9 Flames hitters come up to bat. DiFilippo leading off first. Stefersky looks. That pitch is going to miss low and away. for a ball. Decent-sized crowd out here at OCC Stadium tonight. Last night was Town of DeWitt, and I had a decent showing. Now the showing seems to be bolstered by a strong Sulcats contingent, seeing as both teams share this field, as that pitch is going to miss outside for ball 2. Hart 1 for 2 on the night. Had a 2-run double back in the first, but struck out in the last inning. The pitch misses inside. Has to jump back a little bit to avoid that one, and Porter almost overthrows Stefersky on the mound, but he's able to recover. And the count's now 3-1. The 3-1 pitch. That one misses low, ball 4. The Flames have now batted around this inning, and Casey Kretsch will be up for his second at-bat of the third. Kretsch 2 singles on the afternoon. He's also driven in a run. Nighttime finally starting to set in here. The clouds casting a little bit of a darker glow over here at OCC Stadium. The lights coming into fuller effect. And the first pitch to Kretsch misses inside. Porter able to get in front of that one and keep it from getting too far away. And the count's going to be 1-0.
So much inconsistency from these Sulcats pitchers, unable to find the zone, and when they're missing badly, and Isaac Porter has had a heck of a time trying to corral the ball in his glove.
Isaac Porter, 3 pass balls, or is it 4 now?
4.
After that drop third strike, it's now up to 4 on the evening. The 1-0 pitch, chopped foul off of Kretsch's shin. Best he hopes he was wearing a shin guard, and the count's now even at 1-1. So Art and DeFilippo are going to have to go back to first and second, respectively. 2 away here in the bottom of inning number 3, an 11-1 Flames lead, with runners on first and second. And Stefersky gets set, the 1-1. That pitch missing low and away, and the count's now 2-1. With every passing batter, Sulcats losing chances to get back on the board here and stay in contention. The 2-1. Misses inside, gets away from Porter again. The 5th pass ball here in this contest. And now the runners advance to second and third. 2 runners on the brink of scoring here with 2 away. We didn't see Isaac Porter last time. Last time behind the plate, it was Matthew Nurs, and they're probably used to this massive backstop as they share this home turf. The 3-1 pitch is going to find the dirt, and ball 4 is going to send Casey Kretsch to first base and load the bases with 2 away.
Stefersky's second walk surrendered already, and he's only pitched a half inning.
Kretsch now still 0 for 2 after the walk, and now Reed Gibbs with a chance to get his first hit of the contest. Oh for 1 on the night, walked back in inning number 3. The 0-1 pitch. That one misses inside. Count's going to be 1-1. Stefersky, like all of his predecessors in this contest, having to deal with bases loaded situations. Tight contest as that one's lined right towards second base, and Ferlenda is able to make the leaping catch for out number 3. Wow, what an inning. 5 runs on 5 hits. And, that's going to be 3 hits. Only 3 hits in this inning. And 3 men left on base at the end of 3 innings of play. The Flames have a massive 11-1 lead over the Sulcats. Back on the top of inning number 4, Flames with an 11-1 lead, and Morgan Chapman, my broadcast partner, will take over play-by-play for the middle innings. So, Morgan, take it away.
Thank you, Brandon. Leading off the top of the 4th inning, the right fielder, number 0. This is Drew Patterson. 0 for 1 on the night. He was a strikeout victim, the first of many for Riley Glenn on the mound for the Flames. And the Onondaga Flames out to a commanding lead over the Saltcats, 11-1 to be exact. As you can see from our graphic. This one swung on out to the left field. See if Adam Gordon can make a play on it. It's going to be to the fence. He's not going to be able to. That's going to be at least a double. Adam Gordon still hasn't had the ball. He's going 3. Adam Gordon throws it to DiFilippo, and he's tagged, and he's out. So Drew Patterson making a mental error, trying to get 3 out of what should have been a double, and Adam Gordon and A.J. DiFilippo making an awareness play, tagging him out.
If that was right or center field, that would have worked, but both these coaches being aggressive on the base paths, that wasn't the smart decision there.
Up to bat next for the Syracuse Saltcats, number 16, Patrick Miner, who's playing first base this evening. He was also a strikeout victim in his first appearance to Riley Glenn, so Riley Glenn has done a fantastic outing on the mound for his second start of the season. First pitch in there for a strike. And we saw Riley Glenn down in Cortland against the Cortland Crush, and he was telling me that he lost a little bit on his fastball, gave up the home run to Zach Kelly, and that was pretty much all she wrote. But in this game, only surrendering 1 hit so far. This one swung on, looks like it's going to be in the foul territory, and Patrick Miner will be in an 0-2 count. Patrick Miner is on first base, as I mentioned, and see if he can get the second hit of the night for the Syracuse Saltcats, who are desperately needing some offense, trailing by 10 runs. Swung on and missed for the strikeout, so another strikeout victim for Riley Glenn. That's going to be his 3rd K on the night, as a swing and a miss will bring 2 outs here for the Flames, so they're very close to going back on the offense end, where they had another explosion, scoring 5 runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Up the bat next for the Syracuse Saltcats, number 7, Christian Nakari. Nakari reached on a walk, came around to score the lone run for the Saltcats. First pitch is going to miss outside for ball 1.
And Nakari's score there, big compliment to Riley Glenn's committing the lone error for the Flames this evening. Tried to pick him off at first, but sailed it way over Peterson's head.
Second pitch swung on right back. Looks like this should be an easy 3rd out by Brian Hart, and it is reaching, and he's going to be safe, though. So coming off the bag, an errant throw by Brian Hart, which looked to be a routine play. Corbin Paxton has to come off the bag, and a base runner for the Syracuse Saltcats. Should be scored as an E6, I believe, as Brian Hart made the error. Up the bat next for the Syracuse Saltcats, number 15, Isaac Porter. Porter has 5 pass balls, correct, Brandon, in this ball game?
Certainly not the best defensive effort so far from Porter.
Definitely not, as that pitch is going to miss for ball 1, and the count will go to 1-0 for Isaac Porter here in the top of the 4th inning. See if Nurse checks into the game if Porter continues to struggle behind the plate. Here's the pitch from Glenn. It's going to be inside. Not called a strike, though, and the count will go to 2-0. With Nakari, I should say, on first base. 2 down here in the top of the 4th inning, with Riley Glenn continuing his perfect night almost. This one swung on out to center field. Looks like an easy out, and it is, collected by Chernow, and the inning is over. So an F8 to end the inning. Flames surrender 1 hit, but Drew Patterson was caught stealing 3rd base. No runs, no errors, and 1 runner left on base as we're going to go to break here on Team Line. Welcome back to the Onondaga Flames broadcast here on Team Line. Looks like a substitution behind the plate for the Saltcats is Jared Strait out of Wells College is going to come in for the catcher position. Makes sense because Isaac Porter's had a long night. Leading off the bottom of the fourth inning for the Onondaga Flames, number 8, the first baseman, Corbin Paxton. Paxton has the RBI single to his name and scored on an E6. Reached on E6, I should say, as the first pitch is going to miss, or is going to end the strike zone for strike one, and the count will go to 0-1. Jared Strait is listed as a pitcher for this team. Swung and missed there from Paxton. The count is quickly 0-2. Out of Archbald, Pennsylvania, he's 6'4", 215. Corbin Paxton, a teammate of Trace Peterson at Lake Erie College. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss for a strikeout. So Corbin Paxton striking out, bringing up Jack Chernow, the center fielder. So first strikeout of the evening for Stefersky. Correction, second strikeout for Stefersky as this one's fouled down the first base line. Chernow had the RBI signal, came around the score in the third inning, which the Flames batted around and even got down to Reed Gibbs. Second time they did that in this ball game, scoring 5 runs in the third. Here's the pitch from Stefersky, swung and missed, and quickly the count goes to 0-2 for Chernow. Chernow just joining the team yesterday, making his debut. Stefersky with the delivery, and it's going to miss for a ball, trying to get Chernow to reach, but his plate discipline allows him to not swing at junk. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Here's Stefersky with the delivery, swing and a miss. The second strikeout there. And it looks like there's going to be some words between Chernow and the new catcher. That's Strait.
Well, it looks like Jared Strait got bumped into by Jack Chernow. Chernow was walking back to the dugout. Looked like just interrupted his path, and some words were exchanged, but I don't think that'll escalate into anything further.
Let's hope not, as Mike Netzel comes up to bat, the right fielder for the Onondaga Flames this evening. 0 for 2, but scored a run this game, as the last time he had the 6-2 put out. Here's the pitch from Stefersky. Swing and a miss. It's going to be fouled off the end of his bat. Might have hit his foot there. The count will go to 0-1 with 2 outs. Onondaga Flames lead 11-1, as you can see on our graphic, created by our one and only Brandon Ross. So nice job, Brandon, creating a graphic for our broadcast. Second pitch is going to miss outside for a ball, and the count will go to 1-1. But hopefully our new broadcasting system, we have new headsets, new gear, new graphics, a little bit better stream for you guys. Pitch swung on and missed for a hard cut from Netzel, and the count will quickly be 1-2 with 2 down. Pitch in there for a strikeout. So 3 straight strikeouts for Stefersky on the mound, his 4th of the evening. And the Syracuse Saltcats desperately needed that. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back on Team Line. Well, welcome back here to the top of the fifth inning as the Onondaga Flames lead the Syracuse Saltcats 11-1 here in the top of the fifth. Leading off will be Sean Lawler, the designated hitter this evening. Has a single to his name so far, as he's only had one at-bat on the evening. That's just the kind of night Riley Glenn's had on the mound. And looks like there's going to be a change behind the plate. And we were told this is going to happen by Coach Mike Cordero. It's going to be Jake Zurot, the Canisius player. We saw him make his debut last night with the Flames. And Mike Cordero mentioned to us it's going to be a battle between Trace Peterson and number 30, Jake Zurot. So let's see how he does behind the plate. First pitch is going to be high and outside for ball one from Riley Glenn, who comes out for his fifth inning of work. He's really done a nice job behind the plate, or I should say on the mound for the Flames this evening. His first outing didn't go so good down in Cortland, but this one skied up here. Looks like an easy play for Mike Netzel. Actually, it looks like Chernow's going to call him off, and it's going to be an F8 to start the inning. Up the bat next for the Syracuse Saltcats, number 5. This is Chris Coates playing left field. Last time he was up, he flew out to right field. But been really impressed with Riley Glenn, only surrendering the one run, and it was really his own fault as he overthrew Corbin Paxton trying to make a play. Pitch is in there for a strike. So 0-1 count with one out here. Looks like Connor Morrisroe is warming up in the pen for the Flames. Swung on and missed a hard cut, and quickly the count is 0-2 for Riley Glenn, and he's really done a nice job on the mound this evening. See if he can continue. 0-2, one out. Here's the pitch. It's going to miss high, and the count will go to 1-2 for Glennis. Looks like Connor Morrisroe getting loose. We saw him listed as the starter this evening, but it was just a misprint, but we knew we were going to see him at some point. Pitch is going to miss high again, and the count quickly goes to 2-2 for Chris Coates. Two balls, two strikes, and here's the delivery from Glenn. Same exact spot. It's going to miss high, and the count goes to full. 3 balls, 2 strikes with one out. Gets the sign from Zurot. Here's the pitch. Swung on. Back to Riley Glenn. Not going to be able to make a play. Here's Brian Hart. Delivers it. And Corbin Paxton and Brian Hart have the 6-3 connection for the second out of the inning. Up the bat next for the Syracuse Saltcats, number 6. This is Michael Ray playing shortstop this evening. As Brandon Ross stepped away from the mic for a second. But, Brandon, we have Jake Zurot behind the plate. What do you think of that substitution?
Well, I think we saw this coming. Coach Cordero made it clear that there was going to be a substitution at some point. But I'm excited to see what Zurot has. He's been kind of antsing to get some game action all year. He saw the first in a long time last night.
Pitch from Riley Glenn. Looks like it's going to be another 6-3 connection as Brian Hart scoops the ground ball, and that's going to retire the inning. So Riley Glenn goes 1-2-3. Could be his last inning as we have pitchers warming up for the Flames. We're going to step aside here on Team Line going into the bottom of the 5th inning. Onondaga Flames lead the Syracuse Saltcats 11-1. And welcome back to the bottom of the fifth inning as the Onondaga Flames lead the Syracuse Saltcats 11-1, as you can see by our brand new graphic created by no one else but Brandon Ross. Off the bat for the Onondaga Flames, it's going to be the left fielder Adam Gordon, who has made his way around 3 times the score in this ball game. So he's 1 for 3 on the evening. That one hit had 2 RBIs attached to it, so really nice job by Adam Gordon to help out his team. This one's going to be a wild pitch right past the catcher. That's straight. And Stefersky's still on the mound for the Saltcats. 1-0 count with Adam Gordon at the plate. Here's the delivery, almost tagging Gordon, and Gordon throws his bat down. He has something to say, and now we have a bit of commotion here as the home plate umpire has to separate Adam Gordon from Stefersky, and looks like Mike Cordero is going to come out and get someone.
I don't know what the beef is here. I don't remember Adam Gordon particularly doing anything so far this game, so it'll be interesting. I'm just curious to know what this is all about.
Well, I mean, if you have a ball coming at your head, it's been a hot night. Perhaps he thought there was something attached to that, but it doesn't look like that's the case as the home umpire starts to calm down Adam Gordon. Syracuse Saltcats coming out of the dugout there, still outside of the dugout, and we have a lot more Syracuse Saltcats fans in the stands that have something to say.
Looks like both sides are getting warned here after this incident.
And it's the second incident we saw involving Straight, the catcher, because we saw him bump into Mike Netzel as well. That could have been something. And perhaps a little bit of frustrating is starting to set in for the Saltcats, Brandon, because they're down 11-1. They haven't really had the best of night on offense or defense. And now head coach Mike Cordero and the home plate umpire are going to have some words.
I can't imagine what's possibly going into this. It might just be a case of frustrations boiling over. Straight obviously had that collision with Jack Cherno and words some exchange, but I haven't seen many other tensions tonight, so I was surprised to see this erupt.
Saltcats coach not happy with the home plate umpire. It looks like Adam Gordon bumps knuckles with Straight there. So it looks like that beef is squashed, and Stefersky and Adam Gordon can continue their duel where it should be taking place on the baseball field. The first real almost fight we've seen this season from the Onondaga Flames, but Adam Gordon's able to keep his composure. So back to baseball we go. 1 ball, no strikes, no outs for the Flames. This is Adam Gordon, Tyler Stefersky on the mound for the Saltcats. Pitch in there, right above his head again, as Adam Gordon cannot be happy with the ball placement there, as that's exactly the same thing that happened to him the last time, where he was attempting to almost charge the mound.
But I think the fact that nothing more happened there shows that that was merely a misunderstanding.
Here's the pitch from Stefersky, inside for ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes for Stefersky. That's a walk. That's 4 balls. And it's going to walk Adam Gordon as Trace Peterson comes up to the bat here for the Flames. And the thing with Adam Gordon there, it really created a distraction for Tyler Stefersky. Let's see if he can get back dialed in on the mound. So Trace Peterson is 2 for 3 on the evening with an RBI to his name. Came around to score 1 time. This one's going to get away from Straight. Adam Gordon's definitely going to steal. And now he is 4 for 4 on stolen bases this evening. And now we have some more trouble with Adam Gordon. Saltcats fans not happy. Saltcats coaches not happy. Coach Mike Cordero better come out and get Adam Gordon out of the situation.
Looked like they were thinking it was a dirty slide. There was some leg contact between Gordon and the shortstop Ray on that one.
Now we have some fans getting into it here down in front of us, so you might be able to hear that on the mic. So I believe this is going to become a rivalry between the Syracuse Saltcats and the Onondaga Flames. It's safe to say now, after 3 straight plays have just been, or I should say 2 straight plays have been a little bit controversial. Let's see how the umpires handle this, as we have one of the Saltcats coaches still on the field.
Interesting. Both teams have already been warned, and so that was just a talking to. There's just a little beef spit out between the middle infielders and Adam Gordon. So I think if anything escalates further, we'll probably be seeing ejections.
We'll see ejections, definitely. I'm surprised that he's still warning the coaches, and this is an assistant coach for the Saltcats. It's just still giving the umpire a piece of his mind.
Looks like assistant coach Manny Martinez.
Oh, now he's coming after the umpire. Look out here. Look out here as he needs to be held back.
I can't confirm who that is, but one of the assistant coaches has just been tossed.
Yeah, I don't know really what's going on here, Brandon. Just a silly play here by one of the Saltcats coaches. That's just an unnecessary situation there. I'm not really sure if Adam Gordon was trying to do anything intentional with the slide. He was just trying to make sure he got to second base safely. He may have cleared the shortstop there, but it looks like him and the shortstop are having a conversation, talking it out.
I think that seems to be the arguing point, that Adam Gordon actually spiked Michael Ray out there at short.
Yeah, and see if we can continue some baseball here, as this has been a long game already, becoming a little bit longer with these delays now, as an assistant coach on the Syracuse Saltcats team was ejected. Trace Peterson at the plate. As looks like Stefersky's going to ask for some warm-up time, and we're going to step aside for a second. Be right back. Well, welcome back to Team Lime here as we took a short break to let Tyler Stefersky warm up, and this is Trace Peterson at the plate. Adam Gordon stole second base, and that created another controversy. 1-0 count for Trace Peterson. Stefersky checks Gordon. Here's the delivery. Right down the middle, but it's going to miss high for a ball, and the count will go to 2-0. Adam Gordon reached on a walk to start this inning, and you can see from our graphic the Flames lead 11-1, and frustration starting to settle in just a little bit for the Saltcats. Here's the pitch from Stefersky in there for a strike. Trace Peterson is someone we had very high expectations for coming into the season. Looks like he has a little bit of a battle on his own team between him and Jake Surratt. We'll have to see who wins that battle for the catcher position on this team. As time is called, as Stefersky took a little bit of time checking Adam Gordon there at second base. But here we are in the bottom of the fifth inning. Stefersky looks in for the sign. Adam Gordon toying with him on second. Here's the pitch way inside, almost tagging Trace Peterson. Looks like Max Bain, I should say Logan Zavada, warming up in the bullpen. Thank you, Brandon Ross, for that little nugget of information. See if Stefersky can finish this inning, as there are still no outs. 3-1 is the count for Peterson. Pitch fouled off the end of his bat. Section. It's going to be in the fair territory. See if Peterson can beat it out. He does! How about the effort by Trace Peterson? But I'm not sure what happened to Stefersky. He was all over that ball, but I was unable to get it in his hands safely, or cleanly, I should say. And mental air is really starting to pile up here, Brandon.
Mental error is piling up. It's got to be frustrating. We're going into hour 2 of this ball game. We're not even halfway done yet.
We are not. Up the bat next for the Onondaga Flames, number 12, A.J. DiFilippo, playing third base this evening. He is 1 for 3 on the evening. Came around to score a run. So he has the single back in the first. That was an RBI single. Stefersky steps off the mound again. Adam Gordon still on second. Trace Peterson on first. No outs for the Flames. Pitch is swung on. This is definitely going to get down. Could score Adam Gordon. He's rounding third. Could even score Trace Peterson. Definitely going to score Trace, I should say, as it's still not picked up. Going for 3 is DiFilippo, and he's there with a 2-run triple. And this one is just blown up in 13-1 the lead for the Flames.
The fans seem like they're really hot about what's happening right now.
So a 2-run triple for A.J. DiFilippo. Up the bat next for the Onondaga Flames is Brian Hart. First pitch in the zone for a strike. Third RBI of the night for A.J. DiFilippo, and the 13-1 is the lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning for the Flames. Stefersky still on the mound. It's going to tag Brian Hart, and he's really starting to lose control. I'll be surprised if he goes any further. Doesn't look like they're going to sub him out, though. So struggles continue for the Saltcats. Mental error after mental error as a hit by pitch. It's going to bring Brian Hart to first base. Runner on third is A.J. DiFilippo, and up the bat next for the Onondaga Flames. A pinch hitter. Looks like this is going to be number 24, Jared Grosguth. And how have you seen Jared Grosguth perform so far this season, Brandon?
He's been one of the big offensive bats. He had a struggle game. Was it against the Cortland Crush the first time around? And he's been sitting the last couple nights so far, but getting a chance to pitch hit here.
He'll come in to pinch hit, and we'll have to see how he can do at the plate, as he was consistent for the first couple of games, but then he started to lose it just a little bit. So 13-1 is the lead. Runners on first and third with no outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. This is Jared Grosguth at the plate. Plays his college ball at the Community College of Rhode Island. Looks like Straight is going to block that one off. Runners aren't going to advance, and that's ball 1 for Grosguth. Brandon mentioned earlier, this is becoming a very long ball game, as we're already in hour number 2, not even halfway done. 1 ball, no strikes, no outs for the Flames. Looking to add to their lead. Swung on down the third base line. It's going to be a single. Going to score A.J. DiFilippo. So an RBI single for Jared Grosguth, doing his part and getting in on the hitting parade. And it looks like there's going to be a timeout called, perhaps a pitching change or some words of encouragement to Stefersky, as we're going to step aside and take a quick break here on Team Line. Well, welcome back to the bottom of the fifth inning as the Flames have runners on first and second base, I should say, with no outs. And this is Reed Gibbs coming up at the plate. As you can see from our graphic, the Saltcats lead 14-1 here in the bottom of the fifth inning, really manhandling the Syracuse Saltcats. Reed Gibbs 0 for 2 on the evening, reached on a walk. First pitch in there for a strike. New pitcher on the mound, Logan Zavada, out of Kingston, Pennsylvania. Plays his college ball at East Stroudsburg University. Had a 2.38 whip, 17 Ks, 16 walks surrendered this season. Just finished his junior season. He's going to miss outside for a ball, and the count will go to 1-1. Nice block there by the catcher. That's straight. And we've seen five pass balls surrendered by the Saltcats, which end up hurting them just a little bit. Here's the delivery high, and the count will go to 2-1 for Reed Gibbs. Two balls, one strike. Brian Hart and Jared Groskuth on base for the Flames. Here's the pitch. Swung on. Looks like it's going to go out of play, though. Count goes to 2-2 for Reed Gibbs. Beautiful night here at Onondaga Community College. Home of the Onondaga Flames, but also the home of the Syracuse Saltcats. And we have quite a few fans out here this evening. This one swung out to center field. Should be an easy play. Center fielder underneath it, and there's the out. No one's going to tag up and go. That's Adam Holland out in center field, and that's the first out of the inning. Up to bat next for the Onondaga Flames, the first baseman, Corbin Paxton, who has an RBI single to his name. Reached on base from an error from the shortstop and came around to score. So he's had his footprint on this game as well. Pitch from Zavada. It's going to be in there for a strike. Nice pitch to start this at-bat for Zavada, as the Syracuse Saltcats have struggled to find any consistency on the mound in this ball game. As Zavada is checking on Brian Hart. Here's the delivery way outside for a ball, and the count will go to 1-1. 1-1 with one out.
You know, nightfall is setting in. You could see in the reflection Morgan's glorious face on the broadcast.
That is me in the flesh. This one's swung on, chopped off, foul for Corbin Paxton. Count goes to 1-2. But this lead has grown 14-1, like I said, for the Flames, and by far one of their more successful outings at the plate this year. We saw them score a ton of runs against the Rochester Ridgemen. They were able to hold down and win that ball game. Also collected their other win against the Syracuse Saltcats this season. As this one is swung on and missed for the strikeout, second out of the inning. Up the bat next for the Onondaga Flames. Looks like another pinch hitter. It's going to be number 23, Colin Matthews out of Kent State. And Brandon, I know you interviewed Colin Matthews. What did you get out of the interview, and what kind of kid is he? Can you explain that to the fans a little bit?
Well, Colin Matthews is just really excited to get back on the field. He had a gray shirt and red shirt this past season at Kent State, meaning he enrolled late as to not take up a scholarship for that year, and he didn't play this past season. He was recovering from Tommy John surgery after a UCL tear he suffered in the fall of his senior year of high school. We got to witness his first pitching outing in almost 2 years, and he was stellar, and he's been hitting well as well in the batter's box.
So here's Colin Matthews. Fouls that one off the end of his bat as it goes to the backstop. Runners are actually going to advance. He didn't foul that off. It looks like it was just a wild pitch, so going to score that one as a wild pitch. Runners advance. So now Brian Hart and Jared Groskuth both in scoring position for the Flames. With Colin Matthews at the plate, plays his ball, as Brandon mentioned, at Kent State. And he's had that long road to recovery, but he's really starting to see it pay off here for the Flames. And this pitch is going to be in there for a strike. Count goes to 1-1 for Colin Matthews. Another mental error from this team.
So that's now the 6th passed ball for Saltcats catchers this evening.
Pitch swung on down the first base line. This is going to be fair. Scoring 1, definitely scoring 2. Colin Matthews on his horse to second base, and he's standing with a 2-run double with 2 outs. Heck of a play by Colin Matthews. And the lead grows to 16-1 for the Flames. Up the bat next for the Onondaga Flames, Jake Zerat coming in to get his first at-bat of the evening. And see what he has in store for us with a runner in scoring position. Nice job by Colin Matthews. And it's honestly a shame that there's no mercy rule in summer ball here in the NYCBL, because this one is definitely getting out of hand.
You know, I'm interested to see is if in the later innings, just to save their bullpen, they might actually put a position player on the mound.
Yeah, we'll have to see. First pitch outside and high for a ball for Jake Zerat. This one's big cut there. Count goes to 1-1. But Flames have done their damage for sure. (16-1) is the score in this ball game. Here's the pitch. Nice cut there, but he's just going to be fouled off. Count goes to 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs with Colin Matthews on second base for the Flames. An offensive showcase on display this evening here at Onondaga Community College. Lost a close one last night to the Cortland Crush, but looks like everyone's dialed in and focused this evening for the Flames. Here's the pitch. Inside for a ball. Count goes to 2-2. Jake Zerat at Canisius College. Here's the pitch. Swung on off the end of his bat. This could be the end of the inning finally, and it is, as the first baseman scoops it up to end the inning. So Onondaga Flames take the lead 16-1 going into the top of the 6th inning. Thank you so much for joining us on Team Line, and we're going to step aside and go to a break. Welcome back here in the top of the 6th inning. The Onondaga Flames lead the Syracuse Saltcats 16-1. On the mound, continuing his outing so far is Riley Glenn, who's been the lone pitcher for the Flames so far. Done a terrific job on the mound. What have you liked out of him, Brandon?
I've really liked his performance. He's been getting consistent, quick innings. Most of his innings, as a matter of fact, have gone 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious how he's still able to go after sitting on the bench for that long.
I know. Must be keeping his arm very warm. And it looks like there's someone warming up. We'll have to get a read on it as Eric Moon brings his binoculars into the studio. It looks like there's some substitutions also being made in the field as Coach Mike Cordero has a chat with the home plate umpire. Let's see if Brandon Ross can fill us in. So,
yeah, there were some defensive arrangements must have happened after the last inning. It looks like Brady Wing's now out in left field, and out in center field it's going to be Marshall Wynn.
Thank you, Brandon.
So we did see some pinch hitters in some interesting places last night, so rather in the last inning, so it would make sense that we have some defensive changes here.
Well, especially in a game like this where it's just an absolute blowout, domination from the start from the Flames. Put up 5 runs in the first inning, scored 1 in the second, 5 more in the third, and 5 more in the bottom of the fifth.
3 5-run innings is certainly not normal.
Well, it's an offensive explosion. We've been waiting for the Flames to be able to do that, and guess what? We might be able to do a post-game interview with some of these guys as they have a huge lead. Hopefully they can hold on to it.
We got 3 yeses for interviews. I think we're going to have a lot more when we go down afterwards.
Absolutely. I can't wait to get down there and talk to the guys, but it's more baseball to be played. Riley Glenn facing Adam Holland. The first pitch right at his head, and Adam Holland has some words as Riley Glenn tries to say that was just an accident. Time to settle this down as the Saltcats are really letting frustration set in. I don't think that was anything intentional. It's just a pure miss, and we've seen Riley Glenn miss a couple of times this today.
His fastball has been out of control. You'd hate to see that as something with tension starting to boil over. You don't want this to get any more out of hand than they are. And
you really do.
You saw the fist bump between Jake Surratt and Holland, so I think it's all squared away.
Let's hope so. See if Riley Glenn can find the strike zone here and hopefully not aim one towards his head. There's one right down the middle, but it's going to be a ball. So 2 balls, no strikes for the Flames. Defense has really been their strong suit tonight, only surrendering one run, and that was the error from Riley Glenn. Pitch in there for a strike, catching the bottom corner. 2 balls, 1 strike for Adam Holland, the center fielder. 0 for 2 on the evening. Pitch swung on and missed. Looks like he might have got a piece of it. Either way, count goes to 2-2 for Adam Holland. Holland plays his college balls at Rutgers University out of Sicklerville, New Jersey. 5'9", 185 for Holland. Swung on there. Could be an easy out. It looks like that's Jake Evans subbing in at shortstop, and that is going to be an out. So Jake Evans coming in for, it is Jake Evans, number 4. So Jake Evans getting the 6-3 connection there. Another substitution. Sorry we missed that one. But it makes sense. He's been playing shortstop and second base quite a bit this year. Michael DeFusco up to bat for the Saltcats. Looks like a pinch hitter coming in. And they need to change something because they just have not had that much success this evening. First pitch is going to miss for a ball. One-0 count. 1 out for Riley Glenn. This one's fouled down the first base line, way out of play. 1-1 will be the count for DeFusco. DeFusco out of East Greenwich, Rhode Island. Batted .275 in college this year. 5'10", 160. Just finished his freshman campaign. Pitch is going to miss for a ball. Count goes to 2-1 for DeFusco.
You know, the inner New Englander in me knows it's East Greenwich.
East Greenwich, excuse me. Where I'm from, it's Greenwich. The same exact spelling. There's a town near me. Pronounced Greenwich. 3 balls, 1 strike. Brandon Ross hailing from Connecticut. Giving your hometown a shout out. Pitch inside, going to surrender a walk. So a rare base runner for the Saltcats. Up the bat next for the Syracuse Saltcats, number 0, Drew Patterson. And Brandon, we saw him hit that double, but he ended up trying to go 3 there, and he was thrown out. What do you think of that decision by him?
Well, it was an interesting decision. It was probably his head coach over at third base trying to wave him in, but that was a gutsy call for sure. And it didn't end up paying off.
Exactly. Did not pay off at all as he swings for the fences there. Swing and a miss. Count goes to 0-1 with 1 out. DeFusco on first base, reaching on a walk. That's only the 3rd walk surrendered by Riley Glenn. He's really had a nice outing on the mound. Plays his college ball at Chapman College as Zerat protects the ball there and does a nice job of blocking it. 1 ball, 1 strike for Drew Patterson, the right fielder this evening for the Saltcats. Here's the delivery. Gonna miss for a ball, and the count goes to 2-1. Here we are in the top of the 6th inning at Onondaga Community College, where the Flames' home field is. This one is swung on and off the turf into, it looks like his back, and in a bit of pain is Drew Patterson.
That's one that fouls off the shin or somewhere on the leg. Maybe the kneecap. That's always the worst one. You really hate to see that, Morgan.
Yeah.
It really is a hard one to wear off, and that might be the day for Drew Patterson.
Could be. Let's see if he can walk it off and tough it out. Either way, 2 balls, 2 strikes is the count right now, as the umpire is going to give him some time. Zerat goes out to chat with Riley Glenn, and this game has just been an absolute offensive explosion from the Flames. Other than the Rochester-Richmond game, we really haven't seen the Flames have this much success at the plate this year. And there's been a bunch of games where they're just unable to have any success. But they haven't had any 5-run innings besides this game. They had a couple of 4-run innings against the Rochester-Richmond, but 3 5-run innings in the 1st, 3rd, and 5th. The Flames have scored a bunch of runs. Looks like this is Taylor. Looks like Drew Patterson's going to walk it off, though. So Drew Patterson walking it off is definitely going to have a Charlie horse or a bone bruise tomorrow, but see if he can get a base knock. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Runner on first. Swing and a miss for the strikeout. Riley Glenn really having himself a day. That's going to be his 4th strikeout on the evening. Swing and a miss there. And up the bat next, pinch hitting for the Saltcats, number 24. This is Taylor Fajardo. So Fajardo. And he hails out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Brandon.
Big boy out of Las Vegas, Nevada.
Big boy. This looks like an easy steal for DeFusco, as Zerat's just going to eat that one. So still being aggressive out there. The Saltcats are trying to find any way to get back in this ball game. But it's been a real long night for all of Saltcats fans.
As you said, Fajardo out of LSU Shreveport. Didn't get a lot of playing time, but did hit a home run in his 8 games.
Yes, he did. Pitch going to miss the strike zone, and the count will quickly go to 2-0 as Riley Glenn just needs 1 more out to get out of the top of the 6th. Struck out 13 times, Fajardo did during his junior campaign. 6'4", 225. Here's the pitch right down the middle for the strike. Nice bounce back pitch there by Riley Glenn. DeFusco on second base, 2 away in the top of the 6th inning. As Riley Glenn looks in for the sign from Zerat. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Gonna miss high and outside. 3 balls, 1 strike with 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning. Taylor Fajardo in the batter's box for the Saltcats. 1-0 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 Here's the 3-1. In there for a strike, and the count goes to full. See what Riley Glenn has in store for the payoff pitch. Three balls, two strikes with two outs. Riley Glenn checks on DeFusco. Gets the sign from Zerat. Here's the delivery right down the middle, but just going to miss high, and he's going to surrender his second walk of this inning. Up the bat next for the Syracuse Saltcats, number 7, Christian Nakari. Nakari reached on a walk, came around the score. He was scored on the error made by Riley Glenn, overthrowing the first baseman at the time, Corbin Paxton. Still is Corbin Paxton out there at first base, as some substitutions have been made in the field for the Flames. Pitch right down the middle for a strike from Riley Glenn. Nice bounce back there. So, probably should update everybody on defense. Brady Wing's in left field now. Marshall Wins in center. Mike Netzel still in right field. A.J. DiFilippo at third. Jake Evans at short. Pitch in there for a strike. So, 0-2 count for Nakari. Riley Glenn still on the mound. Jake Zerat behind the plate. Corbin Paxton on first. And Reed Gibbs at second for the Flames on defense. 0-2 count. 2 outs. Let's see if he can get him to reach. High fastball. Not going to swing at that is Nakari. One, two. Here's the payoff. Gonna miss high again. Looks like it's in the same exact spot. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Runners on first and second. DeFusco's at second, and Fajardo is at first for the Saltcats. Only scored 1 run in this ball game so far, as tensions have started to flare up just a little bit. As Nakari steps out of the batter's box, comes back in. Riley Glenn, let's see what he has in store for the Flames. Just needs 1 more strike to get out of the top of the 6th. Here's the pitch, same exact spot. And now he's at a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
And with bases loaded, full count, 2 outs, you got to anticipate the runners going.
Bases aren't loaded. There's only runners on first and second, but you're absolutely right about that, Brandon. His runners are going. Swing and a miss and a strikeout for Riley Glenn. That's going to be his 5th strikeout of the evening. And if his night is over, he's had a fantastic ball game. Headed into the bottom of the 6th inning, the Onondaga Flames lead the Syracuse Saltcats 16-1. We'll be right back on Team Line. Hello and welcome back to the Onondaga Flames Team Line broadcast. Onondaga Flames lead it 16-1 in the bottom of the sixth. It looks like Marshall Wynn will be leading off the inning for the Flames, playing center field this evening. See what Marshall Wynn has in store for us. Here's the pitch. Gonna miss inside for a ball. Marshall Wynn plays at UAlbany, his college ball. In there, low for a strike. Count goes to 1-1. Logan Zavada comes out back on the mound for the Salt Cats. Pitch high and inside. Count goes to 2-1 strike. Salt Cats still leading this thing 16-1 as we saw tensions flaring just a little bit early on. We saw Adam Gordon have some words, and then one of the Salt Cats assistant coaches get tossed. Check swing, but he did go. Count goes to 2-2. Marshall Wynn, we saw him when we played the Genesee Rapids make a terrific play out in left field. Caught the fly ball in left field, then gunned the guy out at first who never tagged up. He didn't think he'd get there in time. As Zavada throws a pitch that's going to miss the zone, count goes to full. 3-2 strikes for Marshall Wynn. Pitch in there, strikeout looking for Marshall Wynn. Not the at-bat he wanted, his first of the evening. Up the bat next for your Onondaga Flames, number 1, Brady Wing. Brady Wing is subs into left field. Brady Wing has done a nice job for this Flames team so far this season. See how we can do at the plate. First pitch in there for a strike. Brady Wing plays his college ball at Wilkes University. Batted .207 his sophomore campaign, but he's a local product from Jamesville, New York. Here's a pitch from Zavada in there for a strike. 0-2 is the count. 0-2 count, 1 out for Brady Wing. Right down the middle, but it's going to miss high, and the count goes to 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out for Brady Wing. On deck is A.J. DiFilippo, still out there for swing and a miss there from Brady Wing, and he caught it, so it's going to be a strikeout. Second strikeout victim this inning from Zavada as Marshall Wynn struck out looking. Up the bat next, as I mentioned, is A.J. DiFilippo. DiFilippo has done a really nice job this evening as he has a 2-run triple and an RBI single. So he is 2 for 4 at the plate this evening. First pitch is inside. Going to miss the zone, and the count goes to 1-0. Swung on there, chopped down the third base line. Count goes to 1-1 for A.J. DiFilippo. As Brandon mentioned earlier, finally here from Columbia as they were in the College Baseball World Series. Arrived here yesterday and had a home run in his first game, his second at-bat of the season. Hit one over to right field. Pitched right down the middle, missing high though. Count goes to 2-1 strike. 2 outs here. Flames still lead this one 16-1 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here's the pitch. Swung and missed. And the count will go to 2-2. As DeFilippo gets the sign from head coach Mike Cordero, the third base coach at the moment. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Chopped foul down the first base line. Flames have done a really nice job of really preserving this lead for this whole game. I mean, they got out to a hot start, scored 5 in the first inning, and haven't looked back since. Here's the payoff. Swung on, and doesn't have the silky mitts on this evening as head coach Mike Cordero, but he is able to block it barehanded.
I'm going to have to petition to get that word banned from this broadcast booth. I swear to God.
I'm going to give Eric Moon a shout-out as he has rubbed off on me just a little bit. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Let's do it again for A.J. DeFilippo. Here's the payoff. Swung on and missed, but looks like he got a piece. Staying alive is A.J. DeFilippo. And on deck looks like that's Jake Evans, who subbed in for Brian Hart. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the payoff from Zavada. Swing and a miss, and it's 3 straight strikeouts to retire the side. And the Flames, going into the top of the 7th inning, lead 16-1. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Onondaga Flames Team Line live broadcast. I'm Morgan Chapman, and I'm going to kick it back to Brandon Ross for innings 7 through 9 of play-by-play. Take over, Brandon.
Thanks, Morgan. Back in the top of inning number 7. Flames still with a massive 16-1 lead here. And got a new pitcher for the Flames in Chris Burnett. Haven't seen him yet. Well, the good reason is he just got back in this morning. Took the red eye in today. Coach Cordero told us before the game we were likely going to see him, and now we got a pinch hitter here for the Syracuse Saltcats in Dylan Nolan. First pitch from Morris Rowe is a strike as Nolan was showing bunt, and he tried to get at it way above his head and out of the zone. Burnett out of Cal Poly Panama arrived with his teammate Jeremy Taylor. Only threw 9 innings this past season. Batters hit only 143 against him. That pitch is going to be cut on and miss, and that'll be 2 strikes with no balls here on Dylan Nolan. Nolan out of Wells College, playing 32 games this past season, hit 2 home runs, so obviously a power threat here as Zarat takes time to chat with Morris Rowe.
He's also very patient at the plate, Brandon, as he collected 12 walks in his 110 at-bats on the season.
Well, certainly not showing that patience here. Hacking at that second strike, and on that first one, tried to lay down a bunt, but reached way out of the zone to try to put it down. Morris Rowe with the bases empty, still working from the stretch. And the 0-2. That one misses just outside. And the count's now back to 1-2. Burnett's one of the few new guys that have made their way on the team the past week, and Coach Cordero said it's kind of messed with the team chemistry just a little bit, but he expects them to regain footing in a few days. As that'll be a called strike 3 as Dylan Nolan, watch that one, sails right on the inside edge of the plate, and that'll be out number 1.
And how about the start for Chris Burnett, Brandon? First batter faced, and collects a strikeout.
Certainly a good way to gain confidence here. As Sean Lawler, still in the game here at DH, will get his 3rd at-bat of the night. Last time out, flew out to center and singled back in inning number 2. The first pitch from Burnett misses high, and the count's going to be 1-0. It's interesting with that first strikeout. That matches his entire pitching total from the entire past season at Cal Poly Panama with just 1 batter. And the 1-0 pitch again misses outside. Count's now going to be 2-0. Burnett put in a very low-pressure situation here late in the game with a 15-run lead. In the past couple of innings, the sky's gotten completely dark outside OCC Stadium as the 2-0 pitch misses inside. Count now 3-0. Pure darkness out there in the outfield. The lights starting to bear down us a little more, and you can see my beautiful broadcast partner Morgan Chapman's face a little better in the reflection there on the window.
It is me.
The 3-0 pitch. And Lawler does not get the green light, and he takes strike 1 right down the middle.
At this point, I think the Saltcats are just trying to collect base runners and try to chip back into this one somehow. Make it respectable, at least.
Burnett winds a 3-1. Misses inside, ball 4. That one just slipped out of control of his hands. And Lawler will trot on to first base with 1 away. And that'll bring up number 11, a pinch hitter for the Syracuse Saltcats, and that's Chris Anderson. Anderson out of Nichols College, played 39 games this past season. Another power threat. Hit a pair of home runs out there. Also drove in 18 runs of his own. As Burnett will check on Lawler over there at first. First pitch to Anderson. Ball misses high, looked like a breaking ball that just missed the zone. Count's going to be 1-0 as Burnett's hat flew off on that last pitch. He really was used in more of a relief role this season at Cal Poly Panama, and I think it shows by the hard effort he's throwing with, not really consistent with a starter who likes to pace himself. The 1-0. That one misses way high. If the catcher wasn't there, probably would have plunked the home plate umpire in the face, but instead it's a 2-0 count. And Lawler stays there at first. Burnett peeks over to first, working from the stretch. The 2-0 is going to be foul behind home plate. That'll be the first strike of the at-bat. Count 2-1. Obviously, with a long game like this one, you're going to see a lot of substitutions. From pitching changes, for which the Flames we haven't seen a lot. It's only the second pitcher, and this is his first inning. But we've seen 4 for the Syracuse Saltcats as that pitch misses high, and it's going to get away from Zarat behind the plate. And Lawler on the pass ball is going to advance to second.
That's the first pass ball we've seen in the ball game, Brandon, from the Flames, and we talked about that with Coach in the pregame, as that was the big issue last night, and he said it really just comes down to concentration. So we'll see if he can make those mistakes go away.
Surratt still getting used to getting back in game action. Didn't see a lot of the field this past season at Canisian, his freshman campaign. And the 3-1 is going to be fouled back straight towards the backstop, and the count's going to now be full at 3-2.
And there was a reason why he didn't play at Canisius, right?
Sitting behind the great Chris Contley, tore up this league last season. And so he only played in 5 games, but certainly anxious to get back on the field and knock off the rust in these first 2 games. Full count here to Anderson, the payoff. That misses outside, and that's ball 4. Chris Anderson's going to walk. And that'll be runners on first and second with 1 away. Looks like pitching coach Robert Anders is going out to have a quick chat with Burnett. Obviously, with not a ton of experience this past season, probably knocking off some rust of his own.
And you know what? He's probably just out there telling them to calm down a little bit. He struck out the first batter and surrendered back-to-back walks, so just needs to settle in, focus a little bit more, and hit the zone.
That's usually the main purpose of pitching coach meetings on the mound, just to help the pitcher maintain the composure in tight situations. And after the mound meeting, it's going to be Michael Ray back up for the Syracuse Saltcats. Ray's 0 for 2 on the night, grounded out to short in the 5th inning, and in the 3rd inning, he lined one straight to the shortstop. Back then, it was Brian Hart, who has now been since replaced by Jake Evans. The first pitch to Ray is going to get past Surratt again. 2 pass balls this inning. And now runners on second and third with only 1 out. Saltcats haven't found the board since the 2nd inning when they scored their only run of the ballgame. A chance here to get back on the board and claw away at this 15-run lead.
I believe Surratt surrendered 3 pass balls last night, and all 3 of them scored at Cortland Crush runs.
The 1-0. Fastball right down the middle. Burnett's got a little bit control back, and the count's now even at 1-1. Burnett from the stretch is going to be popped into shallow right field. Getting under that one is going to be Reed Gibbs. And a ballsy attempt by, looks like Chris Anderson, to try to advance. He didn't realize that that was a short pop-up, and he's going to get doubled up at second base, and that will retire the side. So no runs, no hits, and 1 man left on base after the gun down by Reed Gibbs at second. At the end of 6.5 innings of play, the Flames still have a 16-1 lead. Back at the bottom of inning number 7, Flames still maintaining a quite significant 16-1 lead. As Chris Burnett got into some early trouble in that inning with runners on second and third and 1 away, but was able to get out of the jam as Jake Evans now in to pinch hit for Brian Hart. Had played the last couple of innings at shortstop. First pitch is going to be chopped on the ground, foul down the left field line.
And what have you liked out of Jake Evans this year? I mean, we've seen his athleticism on display, but we haven't really seen him have any consistent at-bats. I'll let you answer this after this pitch.
The wind-up, the 0-1. It's going to be chopped on the ground again, foul right towards the Flames dugout.
So let me ask you again, what have you liked out of Jake Evans on the defensive side of things?
Jake Evans, I think one of the things that our owner, Wayne was telling us about, he mentioned that the Binghamton coach, when referring Evans to us, said, if there's a better shortstop than this one, then you're set. A stellar defensive player, as the 0-2 pitch is going to ring him up for strike 3 as he watched that one sail right through the zone, and that'll be the first out of the inning.
How about that, though, Brandon? That's 4 straight strikeouts from Zavada.
Certainly consistency on the mound now as Jared Groskuth comes up for his second plate appearance. Singled back in the 5th. Would eventually come around to score. And the first pitch misses down and away. Straight's able to keep that one in front of him as the count's now 1-0. The 1-0 is going to plug Groskuth right in the back. That wasn't going to be anywhere close to the plate as it was well behind him. And now Groskuth will take the trot to first. Looks like we missed a defensive arrangement here. Looks like Chris Anderson, listed as an outfielder, is actually behind the plate right now.
Oh, I did not see that. He did come in the pinch hit. That makes sense.
Reed Gibbs now up to bat for the Flames. Not the best night for him so far. 0 for 3. Did manage to reach once on a walk back in inning number 3. First pitch to Gibbs misses high and inside. Count 1-0. Still quite the blowout here at OCC Stadium. Flames lead 16-1 with one away in the bottom of inning number 7. The 1-0. Breaking ball catches the inside corner. Count now even at 1-1. Zavada working from the stretch. Groskuth with a very short lead at first. That pitch misses low and away. Anderson's able to keep that one in front of him. Counts now up to 2-1. Looks like time's being called here. Gibbs setting up not too far inside in the batter's box, allowing probably about 7 or 8 inches of gap between his feet and the inside line. The 2-1 is going to be chopped on the ground towards third. This could be 2. Fires to second for 1. On to first. A double play. Make that a 5-4-3. And that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on base at the end of 7 innings of play. The Flames still lead 16-1 here on Teamline. Back at the top of inning number 8 here at OCC Stadium, as we're approaching our 4th hour of play here, set to begin in only the 8th inning. Nick Garcia taking the mound now for the Onondaga Flames, listed as a pitcher on the roster, but we've seen him mostly in outfield and DH duties so far this season.
And he's done a nice job at the DH position when he has been out there, but we also saw him pitch a little bit, and when he has pitched, he looked pretty strong.
That's for sure. As up to bat now to lead off for the Syracuse Saltcats is going to be Adam Holland. One of the few players on either teams to make it through this entire game so far. We're still not sure how many defensive replacements there have been.
And we'll figure that out for you before the Saltcats go back on defense.
Nick Garcia, of course, his last time out, 2 innings, only 1 hit, struck out 4 batters, and didn't allow a single run. Didn't walk anybody either.
I'd say that's pretty solid, huh?
Say that's pretty solid. First pitch to Holland, misses way outside. Looked like a breaking ball, possibly a slider that got away from him, and the count's going to be 1-0. Garcia, a hard-throwing righty out of Chapman College. One of many California products on this Flames roster. The 1-0 misses high, and the count's now 2-0. Holland hasn't had much luck at the plate tonight. Flew out to center the first time, popped up to first the second time, and grounded out to short the first time. The 1-0 to Holland. Misses high. Count's going to be 2-0. Excuse me, the count's now 3-0. The 3-0. Doesn't have the green light. Takes that one on the outside corner. Counts now 3-1. Infield playing back here for the Onondaga Flames, as the 3-1's delivered and fouled right back behind home plate. Line drive off the backstop that actually rolls right back out to Nick Garcia on the mound. There will be a replacement of balls, though, and the count's going to be full at 3-2 to Adam Holland.
Doesn't get any more convenient than that.
I think the only time it gets more convenient is when the runner's going and it's a wild pitch and you rebound off the backstop and you got him at third like Gary Sanchez did a couple weeks ago.
That was impressive.
3-2 count here to Adam Holland. Garcia deals. It's going to be driven out to center field. Drifting under that one is going to be Wynn, and he'll make the catch easy for out number 1. Holland gave that one a ride, but not good enough as out number 1 is made, and that brings up number 2, Michael DeFusco. DeFusco now out in left field after that plethora of defensive replacements. Last time up, he walked and eventually stole second base before the inning ended. First pitch to DeFusco misses outside. Count 1-0. That pitch is going to also miss. The count's going to be 2-0. Garcia with 1 out, the 2-0. That one misses just outside. Count now going to be 3-0 here to Michael DeFusco. The 3-0 is going to catch the edge of the strike zone for strike 1, as after this batter, Mike Gorman, a pinch hitter, is waiting in the wings. He'll get a chance for his first at-bat next inning. Or rather, next batter, and the 3-1 is going to be a strike, and the count's now going to be full at 3-2. The 3-2 pitch is chopped behind home plate, foul. Count stays full at 3-2. DeFusco really fighting for his pitch here. A long at-bat. I believe this is about to be the 9th pitch in this one. Garcia working from a slanted stance, winding up the 3-2 pitch. Catches the outside corner for strike 3. I think DeFusco may have thought he was getting ball 4 there, but instead he's going to go back to the dugout without number 2. Now pitch hitting again, Michael Gorman out of Iona College. Only played in 12 games this past season. He was used primarily as a pinch runner. Only had 12 at-bats and didn't get a hit in any of them. But if he gets on base, you have to watch out. First pitch is going to find right down the strike zone. Count's going to be on 1. A wide open stance for Gorman as that pitch is way outside. It gets past Jake Surratt, but no one's on base, so it's all safe as count evens up at 1-1.
Even if there's no one on base, though, having Surratt have those pass balls has to be a bad sign for him anyways, as he's trying to win that catcher position from Trace Peterson.
Certainly reflects poorly on him trying to win the position from Peterson, as you said. And the 1-1 pitch catches the outside corner and counts it now 1-2.
But I think we have to still give him credit, Brandon, because it's only his second game of the season.
Two out, 2 strikes here on Mike Gorman. Taylor Fajardo waiting on deck. The 1-2. Cut on and missed. Couldn't hold up the check swing, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. At the end of 7.5 innings of play, the Flames still lead 16-1 at OCC Stadium. Bring it back at the bottom of inning number 8. Flames still with a 16-1 lead. Been kept off the board for the past 2 innings. Logan Zavada still on the mound for his 4th inning of work as Corbin Paxton is up to bat. One of the few long-standers here tonight, has played since the start. 1 for 3 on the evening. 1 for 4. As the first pitch is popped out to the second baseman. It'll be fielded by Gorman for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out here for the Syracuse Saltcats. With 1 away, that brings up number 23, Colin Matthews. Last time up, Matthews drilled a double. Wouldn't come out on to score, though, but that pitch is a breaking ball that misses inside, count 1-0. Matthews replaced Mike Netzel in right field back in inning number 5. And before the 1-0 pitch, time is called. Quick mound conference here between Nolan and Zavada. It's been a heck of a display here for the Onondaga Flames. 16-1 in the 8th inning. And they haven't even scored the last 2 innings. All those runs scored in the first 5 innings of this campaign. A 1-run second inning and 3 5-run innings in the first, third, and 5th.
Safe to say they're dialed in and focused this ball game.
The 1-0 misses way high and inside. Matthews has to duck from that one. This counts now 2-0. Colin Matthews not backing up any in the batter's box after that pitch near the head, as that pitch misses low, and the count's not going to be 3-0. A surprisingly patient approach here from the Onondaga Flames. No surprise, though, seeing as they're up by so much. There's the 3-0 pitch. Catches the edge of the strike zone for strike one. Cordero has noted to have a very aggressive offense, both on the base paths and in the batter's box. Usually swing at a lot of close pitches, but here laying that one off, and he'll lay that one off, but that'll be called strike two. Matthews had already tossed the bat, but he'll have to go pick that one up as count now full at 3-2.
It doesn't really surprise me, Brandon, because the umpire's been calling that inside part of the plate a strike almost all night long.
Well, it's not like it's really hurting the Flames too much.
No, not at all.
Still a massive 15-run lead on 13 hits. Full count, the payoff. That pitch misses ball four. The ump's not as coy about that one, and now Matthews walks over to first with one away. And that'll bring up number 30, Jake Zarat. Replaced Mike Netzel in the hitting order back in the fifth inning, but took over for Trace Peterson behind the plate. Matthews taking about an average lead off first base. Zarat not crowding the plate, standing about in the middle of the batter's box. First pitch misses way outside. Nolan has to play extreme cleanup there, having to lunge quite a ways to keep that from going to the backstop. Zavada in the middle of his fourth inning of work on the mound after all of the previous 16 runs were earned by his predecessors. The 1-0 again misses outside. Nolan does not have to make as much of a stretch as the count's now 2-0. Matthews' lead getting progressively bigger over there at first base. The 2-0. That pitch misses high and inside. Count now 3-0.
Looked like the same exact spot that the umpire called the strike on Colin Matthews last time he used that bat.
Zavada operating from the stretch, the 3-0. No green light there for Jake Zarat as he'll take strike one. We replaced Netzel back in the fifth inning. Grounded out to first. My apologies. The 3-1 pitch catches the strike zone again. And Zarat will take a step out of the batter's box. The count's now full at 3-2. Zavada's got the sign and is set. The 3-2 is going to be lined foul behind home plate towards the netting. And the count stays full at 3-2. Win here is huge today as the Flames will be heading into another road matchup with the Spartans tomorrow. That game's going to be at 5 p.m. Are not sure if we're going to be having a broadcast yet, but we will let you know via social media whether that will happen. The 3-2 is driven into right field hard, but that's going to be an easy catch for Chris Anderson, and the throw back to first is not in time. So Anderson tried to gun Matthews at first, but he gets back there safely, and now there's two away. Anderson had to go quite a ways to trace that one down and get under it, but an easy catch there for out number two, and that brings up Marshall Wynn. Wynn hopped in the game for Adam Gordon back in the sixth. Struck out looking his first time up. Wynn not crowding the plate by any measure. First pitch is going to be lined foul right towards the Saltcats dugout. And the count's going to be 0-1. in a lot of situations like these where it's an absolute blowout, you would see a team in this situation the Saltcats are in throw a position player on the mound not to wear out the bullpen, but they have a lot of depth on that pitching rotation, so they can really afford to throw Zavado out there for a lot of innings as that pitch misses outside for ball one. 1-1 count, 2 away. Colin Matthews on first base. Flames still with a 16-1 lead. And the 1-1. Cut on and missed. Looked like a changeup that Wynn got in front of. And he's now behind in the count, 1-2. Zarada ready from the stretch, the payoff. Breaking ball misses inside. Didn't quite break enough to get over the plate. And that's going to be a 2-2 count. Infield playing deep here with the exception of Fajardo, keeping Matthews in check on first base. And the 2-2. Going to miss a little bit inside. Counts now full at 3-2 with 2 away. Expect Matthews to run here. Zavada's ready and deals. That pitch misses high for ball 4. Runners now on first and second with 2 away. And that'll bring up, looks like it's going to be Brady Wing. Quick mound conference out there between the pitching coach and Logan Zavada. It looks like there's going to be a pitching replacement here. So we'll take a break here on Team Line, and we'll come back when we're ready to resume play. New pitcher here for the Syracuse Saltcats. It's Peter Joseph, number 27. A side armor out of Northwood University. Appeared in 9 games this past season, only pitched 11 innings, but has kept his ERA below 2.5. And the first pitch to Brady Wing is going to be inside for ball 1. Runners on first and second here with 2 away in the bottom of inning number 8. Flames still with a significant 16-1 lead. Brady Wing gets set and swings and misses at the 1-0 pitch. Counts now 1-1. AJ Filippo waiting on deck. Should the inning continue. Joseph operating from the stretch. The 1-1. That pitch a breaking ball off speed. Misses inside. Count 2-1. Got two speedsters on base in Marshall Wynn and Colin Matthews, though any stolen base at this point would be bad sportsmanship. The 2-1 is going to be looped into short right field. Under that one is Chris Anderson, and that will retire the side. 16-1, the Flames still lead. No runs, no hits, and 2 men left on base at the end of 8 innings of play. The Flames lead 16-1 here at OCC Stadium. Back in the top of inning number 9 here at OCC Stadium. A blowout so far in this one. 16-1, the Flames lead. Entering the top of the 9th inning, and Taylor Fajardo will get the first chance and the last chance for the Syracuse Saltcats. And new pitcher on the mound in Jeremy Taylor for the Onondaga Flames, who delivers the first pitch. That's cut on and missed for strike 1. Taylor, one of the 2 Cal Poly Panama players to arrive today who have both seen the mound so far, Chris Burnett being the other. Neither of them had very much experience this past season, as Jeremy Taylor only threw a little over 5 innings. So arm still fresh, and the 0-1 misses outside. Count now even at 1-1.
And you know a little bit more why they arrived so late, right, Brandon?
Yeah, the California public school system gets out very late. Cal Poly Panama was not a playoff team, but it just takes a while for them to get out. The 1-1 misses inside. Count now 2-1. Cal Poly Panama, one of the California public schools. Another one, UCSB, originally sported 2 Onondaga Flames players. As the 2-1 is going to be cut on and missed for strike 2. 2 UCSB players were set to play for the Onondaga Flames in both McLean O'Connor and Cole Mueller. However, Mueller no longer scheduled to arrive here for the Onondaga Flames, set to play for a different team in a different league. The 2-2. Pitch misses low. Flames certainly wanted that one to be a strike, but instead the count's now full at 3-2. Full count to the first batter here for Jeremy Taylor. and he deals the payoff. He's going to be fouled back behind home plate. That was the 6th pitch of this at-bat. And the count's now still 3-2. An interesting note we got out of talking to Coach Cordero before this game is they very heavily value quality at-bats, which is certain results you get from at-bats and also bats that go 6 pitches or above. And certainly a quality at-bat. Fajardo's working here for the Saltcats as he'll swing and miss on strike 3. So 1 away in the top of the 9th inning, 2 outs left to go for the Saltcats to work with, and that'll bring up Christian Nakari. Nakari 1 for 2 in this one. As the first pitch is going to be fouled down the right side. Count now 0-1. Again, the Flames taking on the Spartans tomorrow at Hopkins Road. 5 p.m. game there. We are not sure if a broadcast will be running. We will let you know via social media as that pitch is inside and misses for ball 1.
Yeah, it's just a tough place to broadcast it because it's really the only Wi-Fi we get is a hotspot, and the last time we had a little bit of trouble with connecting and then losing connection throughout the game, so we want to have the best broadcast possible. Not sure if it was going to happen there.
And the 1-1. That pitch misses outside for ball 2. Also, likewise, it's tough to get a good view. I know a lot of the fans were wanting a better view out of that game.
Yeah, exactly.
But unfortunately, where we had to set up, we had to deal with at least 30 people walking through the shot at any given moment. They didn't have a good view of the field.
Yeah.
The 2-1 is going to catch the edge of the strike zone, and the count's going to be even at 2-2.
And Jeremy Taylor has looked very impressive, Brandon, on the mound, making his debut already with 1 strikeout, looking for 2 with this pitch.
And Taylor looking for K number 2 on the 2-2. Misses high and inside. Nakari has to duck there as the count's now 3-2.
Tell you what, Brandon, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens when these two teams shake hands at the end of this ball game. Could be interesting.
There was some beef earlier in this one as the payoff. Misses high for ball 4, and Nakari will trot over to first base as the Saltcats will get a base runner here in the top of inning number 9. And that'll bring up Dylan Nolan for the Syracuse Saltcats. Struck out in his only plate appearance so far. Taylor, as always, working from the stretch. First pitch misses high, count 1-0. A big lead here from Christian Nakari, though he's probably not worrying too much about a pickoff attempt as the 1-0 misses again inside. Count now 2-0. Well, now here in the top of inning number 9, Flames with a 15-run lead, 16-1 the score. Runner on first as the 2-0 gets cut on and missed. Pitch likely above the zone, but Nolan gives a hack, and the count's now 2-1. Taylor, the 4th pitcher for the Onondaga Flames tonight. 3 of them each pitched 1 inning after Riley Glenn gave a stellar 6-inning start and is in line for the win here. As that pitch is cut on a miss, count now evened up at 2-2. And Taylor from the stretch of the 2-2. Cut on and missed. Nolan is retired, and now the Saltcats are down to their final out. Sean Lawler now up to bat for his 4th plate appearance today. Singled back in the 2nd He flew out back in the 5th and walked back in inning number 7, got stranded at third base. That was a prime opportunity with Chris Burnett on the round, but he was able to get out of it with a double play. First pitch to Lawler, misses outside, count 1-0. Nakari leads off first. 1-0 count here on Lawler. The pitch is going to be popped up into left field. Drifting over is Brady Wing, and this should do it, and that will be the final out. Flames win this one 16-1. A massive blowout here for the Flames, as that will be the end for this one. Now, welcome to the Onondaga Flames post-game show. Brandon Ross again, joined by Morgan Chapman. Now, a stellar performance here for the Onondaga Flames. What did you notice about this game that they haven't repeated in their losses?
Well, I tell you what, Brandon, I think the one thing they didn't repeat in this ball game was the ability to get the lead and then maintain the lead throughout the ball game. They never looked back after scoring 5 runs in the first inning, 5 in the third, and then 5 again in the 6th. Really impressive game on the offensive side.
And now with the pitching, you saw a lot of great performances, especially from Riley Glenn. 6 innings pitched, only 1 hit, 1 earned run, 5 strikeouts. What did you see from him we didn't see in his first performance?
Well, he looked a lot more comfortable out there, and I tell you what, again, I'm going to refer back to the conversation we had with head coach Mike Cordero, and it's just the focus was there tonight, Brandon. He was really dialed in, focusing on his zones. He was able to hit the spots, and he did a really nice job. Hopefully that will earn him some more playing time for this Flames team.
Another thing Coach Cordero talked with us about before the game were quality at-bats. We saw a lot of Flames working the count tonight, getting those quality at-bats with quality results. How did you think that made an impact in today's win?
Well, I think that what really went down out there, especially in the first inning, they batted around, right? They batted around. Guys were driving in runs. They weren't swinging at junk. They were taking advantage of their opportunities. And I was just impressed by the transition from yesterday, after they had a tough loss, a very close game, into today's ball game, where they are a lot more dialed in, focused, and played 9 full innings of good baseball.
And now, Morgan, before we get off the post-game show, your final parting thoughts about this game and what the Flames need to do moving forward.
Well, they play really well here at home, Brandon. We saw 2 offensive explosions here and then against the Rochester Ridgemen. So let's see if they can keep this momentum up on the road tomorrow and then obviously on the road again on Monday. But I'm really excited to see what we have with this team. With the additions of the new players, our lineup has got a lot better. Looks like a lot more power in the lineup as well with DiFilippo and other players. So let's just keep rolling and get another win tomorrow.
This team finally starting to mesh together. Morgan, thank you. Final line scorer tonight with the Flames. 16 runs on 13 hits, 2 errors, only 9 men left on base. A huge turning point for the Flames, who have had struggles with leaving runners on base this season. And the Saltcats got 1 hit tonight, only 1 hit, 1 earned run, 2 errors, and 6 men left on base. That is all from OCC Stadium. Alongside Morgan Chapman, I'm Brandon Ross. Thank you so much for tuning in.